welcome back to Off the Beaten Quest. We are happy to have you here. There's many D&D podcasts, but there's only one like this, and we are excited you chose to tune in today. This is session 66 for us, Rough Around the Edges. Last we left off, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Shout out to Pogavard. Really love that ambient music. It's the greatest. But last we left off, we had a interesting session. We're getting familiar with the town of Beville, and Verity had quite an eventful evening as she returned to her mother, and talked to her sister, and then subsequently went off into the night to appease her patron's wishes. We will join back with her as she has entered the tavern of the Glistening Grotto. And without further ado, enjoy tonight's episode of Off the Beaten Quest. All right, Verity, you have entered back into the Glistening Grotto Tavern after just seeing Amar walk by in your disguise as you dropped it walking in. You see Olga kind of wiping down the bar counter. The night's kind of dwindling down. A lot of people either they're drunk and passed out at different tables or have already left. So the tavern is kind of quiet, and you have a moment to spend time just really catching up with Olga. How do you enter?
Doing the worm. No.
Yeah. Would you love me if I were a worm?
Verity's just gonna casually walk on up to where Olga is, wherever she at.
Okay. She's at the bar, just like wiping the counter down and stuff. So you approach and you sit at the bar. And she says, "Well, I didn't expect to see you back here so soon."
Yeah, well, this is my safe haven, it seems.
Well, always happy to have you. You just killing time, or?
This has been a wild day.
Oh, yeah? Well, I can say it's good to have you back around. You know, it's been a couple of weeks since we've seen you around here.
Yeah, what's happened since I've been gone?
Well, I can tell you that, I mean, town just went about mostly its day to day, you know, except for, well, I guess that's really relevant. Well, you know that agreement we have with Draclavor, and, well, the Amar was appointed the Crimson Sovereign of Draclavor. His father passed away the last couple weeks, and they made Amar the head of the Draclavor village, or settlement, I guess you could call it. They kind of signed a new agreement with Beville and Green Hills Village, called the Tideforge Concord. We really just wanted to reestablish some things, and just make sure that we kept in good graces with all of Draclavor. And Amar's just been in town, and he's just been checking out Beville as the kind of an emissary. Just kind of keep further establishing our relationship with Draclavor, and checking out the resources that we have to offer, all those kinds of things.
Back it. What?
Amar's the Crimson Sovereign of Draclavor now. His father unfortunately passed away, but...
What? Verity just is very confused. How long has his father been holding that? Was that a title or something?
I mean, you know them vampires. They could last for quite some time, and his time has come, and it was time to pass down the torch. I guess he had gotten really sick. I didn't think vampires could do that, but you learn something new every day.
Well, he didn't say nothing about that.
Well, I guess he might still be dealing with the death of his father and kind of reeling from that, so he's not trying to, like, make a whole thing about it, He's always been a kind of a humble one of them folks, so.
Humble's not the word I would use for that man, but okay, I trust your judgment, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Well, I didn't know if you could pick up on it when you saw him earlier. You guys used to be close, so I thought, you might have noticed he was going through something, but,
I just thought he was a drunk loves a puppy.
I mean, hey, even vampires got feelings,
The face Justin is making at me right now.
I told you it'd be funny. Maybe funny for me. And you see on Olga's face that she kind of notices that there's kind of something off about you. She kind of looks confused. She goes, "Are you doing all right? You okay?"
I mean, yeah.
You seem a little tense.
I mean, that depends. Depends on the eyes of the beholder, Olga. You should know that you wise woman.
I mean, come on. You can tell me anything. You always been able to tell me stuff. You all right?
I forgot the hearth at the home. That's what it is. Nadine's gonna be so upset. She's gonna be very upset. I need to go and I need to take care of that. And
She's gonna make an insight check on you real quick. That is a 15 plus 6. You can either roll persuasion or deception. You don't have to tell me which number or which you're choosing it to be. You just gotta tell me the number.
Math. That's not going 14.
Oh.
And she says, "Oh, hold on a minute. Now, come on. You can't leave on that note."
I can. And I will. And she continues to turn around and get out of her seat.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Olga!
Opportunity attack.
Olga! Oh my Constitution, my. Well, 15.
15. Okay.
Oh.
So, with a 15.
Oh my god. This just turned
Olga!
into something else.
The sheer look of panic on your face.
Yeah.
So you feel as if you froze in place as you're trying to walk out of this tavern. You feel something creeping up the back of your spine as the voices get louder. You feel that the air grows cold around you, even though the hearth is warm. Give me another Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, 21.
21.
21.
21.
Olga, she comes around the bar and she kind of gets closer to you, kind of seeing that you're kind of stiffening up. And she says, she kind of grabs you by the shoulder and she says, "Honey, are you all right? You just seem off."
Can I speak or am I like completely frozen?
You're not able to, like, for some reason it's in your, you've kind of like, it's kind of like one of those things like you've stopped in your tracks and you kind of don't know. It's like when you get, you kind of get lost where you're walking around somewhere, you kind of have to stop for a second and you're kind of like getting your bearings. It's kind of like one of those. But of course, like your body's stiffening up in other, like you're still able to talk, of course, but you are stiffening up and kind of tensing up.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
With a 22, you hear a drip as, and I'll let you roll for perception for me, please.
That one.
Oh, God damn.
So unbeknownst to you,
Sheesh.
drop of blood has dripped off of one of the daggers attached to your waist.
Fuck.
A drop of blood.
And she notices it and she says, Are you bleeding? Make another constitution saving throw for me, please.
I wasn't gonna bring out this dice early this soon, but my OG.
Hesitating which
You're like pulling out a whole other set.
This is my first ever D&D dice. Okay. She's been going strong for 8 years. Don't let me down, baby girl.
Hope it saves you now.
Ooh, okay. Another constitution, you said?
Yes.
17.
Okay. That's not horrible.
You said 17?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel your heartbeat growing deeper. You can almost feel it kind of in your chest as you feel this sense of nerves going across your body as she mentions the blood, and you look down very obviously, like you see that there's like kind of like a spilt piece of blood next to your boot. And I would need you to make one final Constitution saving throw. And I'm going to let you know now that the DC is going to be extremely high.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
That's a dirty 20.
You reach for your dagger under your coat. You kind of move your hand down to your waist.
How far away is the door from me?
You're at the bar, so this is probably about 10, maybe even 30 feet away, if not maybe 40. You're kind of like into the place.
I attempt to misty step out of the tavern.
You attempt to use one of the charges of your ring,
Yeah.
and nothing happens.
Mother. Patron, don't bless me. Okay.
I will allow you to make one more Constitution saving throw.
Gee, thanks. I really appreciate it, DM.
Throwing you a bone on this one.
Please don't kill your friend.
She's sassy in and out of game, turns out.
I told you last session I'm a badass bitch. Son of... Well, that one's a 19.
Okay. So as your hand kind of grips the dagger at your waist and you're kind of feeling your hand kind of tightly gripping this handle, in a very swift motion, now this is a very split second, like you hear it like this faintest, just like a whisper kind of like flitters past your ear, and you see Olga kind of stop, and she turns her head looking in the opposite direction, kind of looking back towards the kitchen of the bar. And you feel all of a sudden a hand grab your wrist, and you look up and you see Amar standing in front of you. Now, he is going to make a strength check, and you are going to contest this.
The one time I have a +0 and I roll a freaking 19.
Wow.
19. So this is going to be... So what's your dexterity? Is it a plus?
+3.
His is a +4.
Oh, thank goodness. I wanted to fail that.
So he kind of like grabs the wrist, and you see him kind of make this like eye contact with you of like certainty, of like very much so, of like, you know, kind of like that nonverbal of like, you know, trying to saying don't kind of nonverbally. You are going to make another Constitution saving throw. As the voices get louder and louder.
Oh no.
11. They keep
11.
getting lower.
Yeah.
You see that he signs with his hands to stop. He uses sign language.
Hi.
and you feel like your wrist is pushing against his hand. You're very much trying to move your hand up, and you hear this like almost like a breeze of wind past your ear again, and this like thing, and like Olga kind of is looking back and is like starting to take a step or two towards the kitchen, like she's hearing something, and you're going to make another Constitution saving throw.
Jesus.
Dude, one of these has to be good. You've rolled like 7 of them.
You mean like wait, is that cocked? Please tell me that's cocked. Is it?
She's like meant to kill everybody.
Fucking hell. That would be a 6.
A 6.
Yikes, man.
I rolled a 2.
You are going to make another strength check for me, please.
Wait a minute, I want to fail this.
This will be contested.
I want to fail this, so where's my worst dice?
It's like you try to fail it, but you actually roll a nat 20.
Heyo, thank you. Finally, a 5.
Woo!
5. So he rolled an 18.
Thank God. My heart rate is up.
And you are pushing, and you feel the sense that you feel your other hand moving towards your hip. Because he's only grabbed one so far. And he quickly, with like this quick, like grabs your other hand. And it's almost like he's kind of like looking at you, kind of grabbing both of your wrists, like looking at you to like stop. You see the red, like the red irises of his eyes, like just like staring into you, like so deeply. And he casts message again, and Olga at this point is like walking away towards the kitchen as if she's hearing somebody calling for her. And he's trying to snap you out of it, kind of like just looking at your eyes, and he's like mouthing like, "Don't stop. Tell it to stop." And
Verity's going to look at him and just say, "Help me."
you are going to make one final, this is the final one, Constitution saving throw.
I'm like so nervous. Okay. LG, help me. +4.
Wait, oh, 22.
22.
22.
Why did I talk into your microphone?
So at this moment, you have this sense of kind of calming silence as you feel your hand, the grips of both of your hands loosen as you are able to move once more. And you've regained your sense of control of your body.
Immediately collapses on the ground.
And so Amar will try to he'll kind of catch you as you kind of fall. And he says, "Oh, wow, careful now. Are you all right?"
Obviously not. I would like to get out of here.
Olga turns back to the two of you and says, "Oh my, Amar, I guess welcome to the tavern. I didn't hear you come in." And you see kind of Olga makes this like face at you as you kind of like look over, and she's like kind of almost like talk to him kind of like non-verbally. It's like one of those like, and then she kind of like all right, I'll leave y'all to it, and she walks back over to the bar.
Mentally, why does she keep abandoning me with him?
Because she sees you in his he's kind of still holding you up off the ground.
Immediately realizing it is tries to scramble out of his arms.
And he says, "Are you okay?" I'm glad that you've regained your senses.
Nope. immediately walks out.
You leave. Okay.
She said no drama, not even for the plot.
As you are turning to leave the tavern, he says, kind of with a little bit of a sharpness, he says, "It'd be nice if you got over our fight sometime. I do miss our chats, even if it is just in a friend's way. But I'll leave you to it." And he kind of turns away and he kind of like goes to sit at the bar. Do you stop or do you continue leaving?
Verity stops in her eye, just one of her eyes just twitches a little bit, like, I hate these fucking rats. And just very slowly, just like on one heel turns and like defeated almost walks back to the bar.
Okay. So, do you walk back to the bar and sit down?
Begrudgingly, yes. And she makes a big plop in her chair.
Okay. You see this like smirk on Olga's face as she kind of sets down like two like tankards. They could have ale or water in them, just whatever you choose, I suppose.
Verity gives her just the like, I hate you smile, but I love you at the same time.
And she kind of just like nods and kind of like with a smirk and walks away. I honestly didn't think that would work. You're usually the more sharper one than me with the words, I said. But
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Because it feels like an insult a little bit.
well, I never shied away from strong women. There's a lot of. I was raised by one, nonetheless. So, I try not to press my luck when I can. Help it, at least.
Verity just like shakes her head and just no, like in a no motion, but just like why? She doesn't say that out loud, but like,
Yeah.
So I heard you got a promotion.
Well, I guess you could say that, yeah. When somebody dies in your family and you're kind of left to be the one in charge,
I thought y'all were already dead, technically.
yeah. Sometimes being a vampire has its way of catching up with you. At least, eventually. But I guess not all of us are immune to the inevitable fate of time.
Jeez, this is hard.
Yeah, I would think so. We didn't leave things on the best of terms, and I thought that by apologizing that I could potentially fix our friendship, but I know you're going and you're dealing with a lot. So I tried to say my piece and just leave you to it. Felt that usually is the best way to handle things.
Brain is like short-circuiting. Player and character are short-circuiting.
you.
You can do it.
I just love that you stayed for the plot and you're like, I don't want to though.
I did tell you this was going to be a bit of a challenge.
It is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't think in this tavern. Can we just go for a walk? Just
Sure. And he leaves like a couple of gold pieces on the bar as he kind of follows you out of the bar. And you leave and you exit into the night streets as you walk through the streets of Beville in the evening.
crap, I keep forgetting about the hearth. Verity says that out loud.
Technically, it's still on. It's just you needed to like turn it to a certain point so that it would stay lit for the rest of the night. But
I know.
uh,
Verity is very forgetful too, just like her player.
So, yeah, I'm glad you're back in town. You've only been gone a couple weeks, but I feel like you've missed so much. I don't know where to start.
I mean, we could just all just hold it all in, and and wait, until I get back again, which could be in like, I don't know, never.
How's that doing for you so far?
Horrible, but we're still fighting it, You know how stubborn I am.
Yeah. And as we just clearly saw, that sometimes you need a little bit of help.
I got help. I found an amazing group of people.
I saw.
Yeah, I mean,
They seem charming.
why do you say it like that?
Well, usually when somebody mocks you behind your back, it's not necessarily the best way to cordially say hello to someone, but
Wait, they were mocking me or they were mocking you?
me, these ears are, the size of these ears aren't just for show. I can hear pretty well.
Fucking Allie's expression.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, mockery can be a type of flattery too.
I suppose. You would know that pretty well, wouldn't you?
Wow. Okay then, Mr. Unmanly.
I mean that in the sense that you typically you've poked fun at me quite a time or two.
Oh, the hemorrhoid thing? Yeah.
Oh,
I guess if you could call that poking fun.
I mean,
I could always say that you walk around with a rain cloud following you everywhere, since you always seem to be catched in a shadow. But,
yeah, but that's different.
I mean, it hurts all the same, doesn't it?
No, because mine's like, it's figurative, but at the same time, it's an actual thing. I don't think you have hemorrhoids.
I mean, you sure tried to convince your friends that I did.
I told them it was a lie. I wasn't like,
I mean, people will choose what they want to believe, I guess. That's on them.
all right.
Are you all right? You seem a bit, I guess flustered could be a word for it.
Me, no. Flustered, no. No, I'm not flustered. And she's like, instinctually, I think she's gonna like mess with her mother's ring.
Okay. Are you going to try to use it? Is that what you mean? Or you're just like kind of
Would you-
twitching with it?
I'm twitching with it.
Well, yeah, so like a fidgeting with it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like it doesn't like quite fit right.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little loose on your finger,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And he he kind of smiles and says, "Well, I'll be in town for a little while. I don't know how long you're here, but I'm getting kind of reacquainted with Beville. It's I've only spent my time here, not officially, I should say, more for. Well, now that I'm in the role that I'm in, I have to take things seriously. So
Yeah.
I guess, and he kind of looks at you with a smirk. He says, "I guess no more fooling around
No, you
when it comes to visiting Beville."
No, that must mean you got to find yourself a good vampire wife and all too. So,
Well, and he says this in. So you speak Infernal, right? Just as a clarification.
let me double check.
You're a tiefling. You probably should.
Yeah.
Well, the 2024 rules changed, so you have to like.
It's on your sheet.
Select.
It's on your sheet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you fixed that.
Yeah, it now says infernal.
Yeah. He says Infernal. I like my partners with a little bit more of a hot-blooded.
Got him.
Welp.
In that case, there were a bunch of like lovely people in that tavern earlier. I'm sure any one of them would like to date a cold-blooded person like you.
Well, in my experience, I feel like your kind can be just as cold-blooded, but you've given me the cold shoulder a time or two, so,
When you when you deserve it, she says under her breath.
He, let me see. His passive perception is a 20, so he definitely heard you say that.
Jesus, mother of...
And he says, I won't deny that. And yes, I did make a character sheet.
That's what terrifies me. Not me going through my spells.
And you, before you've noticed it, because you guys have been walking and talking for a few moments, you realize that you're standing in front of your house, and he's walked you home.
Well, good night.
And he smiles and he says, "Good night." And he kind of like walks off.
Like, and right as she gets to her, she turns around, like, she's just kind of looking over her shoulder and says, I'm technically here another night or two.
And he stops and he kind of looks back. And, oh, yeah?
Just saying. And then walks through the door.
And he kind of like smirks and he kind of like nods as he kind of keeps walking.
And then, like, when she closes the door behind her, she, like, sumps against it a little bit and just, like, bangs the back of her head against the door.
On purpose this time.
On purpose this time.
All right. So,
Ooh, okay.
in your, you now back in your house,
Mm-hmm.
you,
How's that hearth looking?
it's back to some embers, so it's still salvageable.
I'm gonna fix it so Nadine doesn't yell at me in the morning.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
A performance. Alrighty. That's not a D20. That's a nat 20
There it is.
Oh, wow.
for the hearth.
Yeah.
Where were those earlier?
Literally.
You know this hearth well, so you're able to kind of like get it started right back to where it's supposed to be.
Have I been saying it wrong? How do you say
Hearth.
it? Hearth. I've been saying hearth.
Hey, potato.
I don't know what that is.
A hearth is it's similar to
fireplace.
like a fireplace, but it's a little bit more used for like cooking as well as heating a home. It
It's
kind
a
of has
medieval
multi-purpose.
fireplace.
Like the stove.
Yeah,
No, you
Pilgrim.
you can Google it.
Google it.
Um,
If I could spell it, yes, I would love to do that. Leave me to my devices.
So you reignite the hearth, and you kind of get it. I almost said it the way you did. You get it to where it needs to be for the evening, as you've done many nights before. And what do? Do you turn in? Do you stay up for a little bit more?
I clean the blood off of my blade, then I go to bed.
Nice.
Like a smart person.
Okay. You clean the blood off, and then you head away to lay your head down in a bed that is, for the first time in a little while, familiar to you. All right. So, through the night, you all sleep well, and you wake, and the group wakes up and heads to breakfast, I would think. And what do you choose to do as you guys wake up in this morning?
I would like, because during all of that, my technology had a blue screen attack. So I'm going to take that as a sign that Ira should take a point of exhaustion for her unnatural or not normal, abnormal amount
'cause
of
you
alcohol
drank.
intake for the night before.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was because of your shaboinking with Jax.
God bless.
I mean, that too, definitely. But
I-
I would think that because
Excuse me, what was the
Jack-
word that you fucking used?
Shaboinking. Then Jax should take a point of exhaustion as well.
no, because Jack sits and drink. So Ira doesn't like ever drinks. The fact that she did and she had multiple.
Oh yeah.
So is that okay if I give her a point of exhaustion?
Yes, Dawn will also take a point of exhaustion. What? You were schmammered. Let's be real.
Yep.
So?
And then I would also like to know if the party is going to see Amar again before we leave.
That's
Up to us.
be
I
seen?
guess.
to be seen.
Okay.
The day has just begun.
Okay.
Eliana's gonna have to hold a fucking AA meeting soon.
So you all wake up, and what do you do as you are awoken by the coastal sunrise? The morning isn't as warm or humid as you guys have been used to in other climates so far.
Ira is cussing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're swearing due to, I would assume, very much a onset
Hangover.
headache,
Yes.
a hangover moment.
I am feeding my baby Stella some berries.
Okay.
Berries and cream. Berries and cream.
Dawn, Lukiel.
What do you think Dawn is looking for?
I
So you've woken up in your room of the inn, and you're looking for a bit of hair to the dog. I should
Yep.
say.
Best
She's
way to
looking
beat a
for-
hangover is
she's-
to never stop drinking.
She's looking for a little beer. She's looking for a
Guys.
little bacon.
We got a regular Jack Sparrow on our hands.
Ira just wants coffee.
Lukiel, what about you?
I'm making my bed.
So Lukiel's making his bed in
Yeah.
the inn.
Yeah. Like a cordial, fucking normal ass.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe. I don't know who would normally make their bed if they're staying at an inn or a hotel, or if they're just like, oh, they'll get it.
Sometimes people would just leave it, but you're respectful,
know.
so there's nothing wrong with that.
Have you gotten used to your wings or used to like hitting them on stuff and getting caught on
no, I
everything
have
and
not
like
at all gotten used to my
cussing at
wings.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like every time he pulls a corner, like his wing like takes another corner off the bed.
Gathering his spatial awareness, I think that'd be funny. That's
Yeah.
good. So you make your bed, and do you make your way to meet with the rest of the group downstairs?
I gotta get dressed first.
Of course. I would assume that was part of the you're getting up, making your bed.
No, I made my bed completely nude. No, yeah, it was. Where is my room in relation to everybody else?
Yours is away from
Oh,
everyone.
yeah, I was
you
like,
had
making
chosen
sure.
to
Yeah.
keep
True,
your
could-
room
could be
far
considered.
away.
it.
Because of the noise, yeah.
I believe Dawn and Eliana chose to not be
Indoor.
farther away.
I
guess.
chose to be next to Dawn in case she needed medical attention, and then you
Oh,
wanted
that's
to be right
fine.
next to Ira and
Yeah,
Jax.
you did.
So
You
I'm
wanted
assuming
to,
it's Ira and Jax, and then Dawn, and then Eliana.
yeah.
Lukiel's on the complete opposite floor on the other end of the building.
So he's on the other end of the floor, yeah. So Ira and Jax, what are you heading downstairs to find coffee? Is that the
coffee.
Yeah, they need some Gatorade.
food. I don't think
Man,
Jack
does,
actually
does
drank.
that exist here?
We can invent it, guys.
Coffee, food for she wants as many baked goods and pastries because she heard a rumor once that bread is good for a hangover.
Okay.
Is that true?
In her brain, it absorbs it, so it'll go away faster. Is
Fair
it
enough.
actually how it works? Probably not.
I think you have to do
But-
it the night before.
Yeah, it's like to
She
suck up the
doesn't
alcohol.
drink.
She doesn't
So
know
she
that.
doesn't know
so
that.
she's like, yes,
She
bread.
thinks it's a retroactive thing.
Um,
Damn.
Do we go to is there food downstairs or do we need to go back to...
I knock on Dawn's door to make sure she's okay.
You hear a big thud happen as I roll out of bed.
Okay.
Do I hear the thud from down the hall?
I think, given the size circumstances, I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, are you okay in there, Dawn?
It's like a knock on the door.
Would you like some tea? Take that as a no. Do you want some coffee? I'll bring you some coffee.
So Dawn is staying in her room at this point.
She's gonna make her way out. Well, give it like a. She knows that the party is
Okay.
getting food, so Dawn slowly gets up and gets
Eliana
out.
turns to go get coffee for Dawn, and you see Jax and Ira kind of making their way into the lobby, as well as Lucio kind of coming from another staircase that's kind of leading to the rest of the.
Oh my gosh! You know what I just thought of? I thought of if Lucio was walking down the hall as Dawn thudded on you say you fell onto the ground out of the bed.
Yeah, she just rolled out
I
of
feel
bed.
like I would have been beelining down to the lobby area through the hall, and I would have just passed her room as that happened.
Okay.
Do you jump and flutter like a bird?
Your
With your feathers?
your feathers get ruffled.
Yeah, she's huge. She's big, 8 feet tall.
So the inn typically has this kind of small breakfast area where there's nothing. They do have a lot of fresh food, seafood and type of stuff for lunches and dinners and stuff. Their breakfast stuff is pretty much a little bit more of just lighter stuff. There will be coffee, some fresh I would think some muffins or something that they put out.
Bloody Marys.
But it's nothing extraneous as far as that's concerned. They
It's sufficient.
So do you eventually join the rest of everyone?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Dawn
I come shortly after them.
Dawn slunks their way down the stairs and joins everyone in the lobby. And so the five of you, have reunited in the lobby of the inn.
You see Ira uncharacteristically, she's slumped on a comfy chair. Just her holding her eyes closed.
Good morning.
No.
Okay.
She said no.
She's not feeling the
Today
greatest.
is not the day, and I am not the one.
The one. Okay. You're not. Yeah. Okay. It's not the Champions Day.
No. No.
And Jax says every champion's entitled to their day off, I guess.
Oh man, I want to make so many jokes.
Do it.
Catch me checking my herbalist's primer book for hangovers, but it's not listed in here, so I don't know what herbs would treat hangovers.
Ira definitely wouldn't know. Where's Verity?
Verity's not there. She's at her house.
That's Ira asking everyone.
Oh,
where Verity
sorry.
is.
My mistake.
She went home.
Oh.
Did you
I
forget?
suppose that's fair.
Did you forget
I guess it was a long night.
Boyfriend of hers.
the vampire?
With the hemorrhoids?
I don't think she likes him.
I got a different vibe.
Ooh.
Is Lucio? Am I there with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lucio says, he goes, yeah, I mean, I kind of know, I don't know. I feel
It was
like
that weird thing,
there's
right?
some either history or some sort of chemistry there.
Above table, you said that it was your ex, right?
I did.
They
Mm.
dated in the past, so I mean that might be why there's tension there.
Could be unresolved.
Gotcha. No definitive closure, maybe.
If she was here, we could ask her, but fucking
She just
probably
had
sleeping in her bed.
had to go
all
home.
comfortable.
Whoa, yeah, okay. She's probably looking at her. She's probably spending time with her family.
Give me a nature check.
Okay.
'Cause I have an answer for you, but I'm going to make you roll for it.
I'm fucking trying to find my dice. That's not a percentile dice.
You said a what check?
Nature.
21.
21.
So you using your
No, 22. No, 21. Sorry.
your your knowledge of nature and you the things that you've kind of picked up as far as like books and the knowledge that you've kind of learned through different places. You learned that the herbs to cure hangovers are ginger, turmeric, chamomile, fennel, honey, peppermint, rosemary, parsley, and kudzu. I don't know what that is.
Hell yeah. I'm going to order some ginger tea and some rosemary tea and like leave it for people to drink.
Are you going to tell us why?
Yeah. I'm gonna,
Okay.
So these just said I'm just gonna leave it
Like
there,
setting it
and
down.
hopefully somebody realizes.
I'm gonna leave like I guess like little like pictures. I guess if they're like available for people.
So, I know you guys had a rough night last night.
Well, I wouldn't call it a rough night.
I'd call it a rough night. I had like 6 built up. That's the one that came out.
Lukio goes, all right, you guys.
It's natural. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You can probably have a good night.
Okay, Eliana, we don't need to.
It's like one of those like Dawn's like, yeah, and, like shoves Ira and she's like, ugh.
Yeah, Dawn is like extremely broing out over it, like the same way like frat guys would, just like congratulating her. Like I don't give 2 shits about Jax. Like she's like, good job, babe.
I'd like to think like Eliana sets like the teas down and kind of like slowly slides it in front of them across the table.
These, I know you guys probably have some headaches today, so here, this might help a little bit. This
Which one will
one's
help
ginger, and this one's rosemary.
Which one will help more?
Probably the ginger.
She grabs the ginger and just fucking throws it back. Do I burn myself?
Oh God.
Did you make a hot tea or an iced tea?
Hot.
You
Ooh,
said pitchers, so I didn't know.
iced tea.
So make
It's
a
fall.
Constitution saving throw. I think.
Natural 1.
Oh
So-
no.
You
Your tongue falls out.
you will take 2 points of damage
That is
as
fine.
far as you've burned your tongue a little bit, and there's like that like feeling on your tongue.
The
Tongue
what?
just feels raw.
Like when your
Okay.
like tongue is raw. Like
No,
after
do it
you eat,
again.
like hot pizza.
Yeah, and what does it feel like?
We're gonna only have that one soundbite, guys.
You're gonna need those 2 points in combat.
Yeah, it's just-
Good thing I can heal myself if I want to.
So I would think that you guys grab some food from the it's like kind of light breakfast type stuff, and it probably wouldn't suffice like most people's hunger, so you guys would probably be looking for more, kind of like heading towards like a tavern or something in the restaurant in the town. But do you hang around? Do you leave?
Do we
Have a
want to
conversation?
stop and get Verity first before we head out for the day?
We can't.
Wait, we
I
don't
wanna-
know where she lives.
Yeah, I don't know where to find her.
Maybe we
but
can go
I'm
back
here
to
for
the
it.
tavern and see if one of her coworkers knows.
Oh,
Mm.
good
Olga.
idea.
But I do want to see if we can talk to that boyfriend of hers before we leave.
Ooh,
I don't know
what
if
do you
they're
gotta say to
dating.
him?
I have something that might help him with his hemorrhoids. I want to talk to him about that before we leave.
I don't think they're dating.
I don't think he actually has
still wanna
hemorrhoids.
help.
Okay.
It could be helpful. I know someone that could help him.
Okay.
So
You know someone?
I do.
Who do you know?
You'll find out if we get to see Amar again.
Speaking of,
Okay.
where did you get that recipe book from?
We got it from a store.
It's the alchemy book, I believe.
Back
That's what
at
she's
the place.
referring to. It was at
What kind of store was it?
it was in an
where
apothecary
we got- yeah.
in
Oh, the one that we gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had one. See, she's gone. Yeah, it was in Bountifolio before we left.
yes.
At the apothecary.
The apothecary.
Yeah.
The shop lady wrote it.
Oh, I wish I would have gone.
Why?
You were doing something way more important, like
I guess.
making sure Stella was okay to travel.
I guess, but also it's like I kind of wanted to get some herbs, you know. I've been really looking for like some adder's tongue. It's a really good cure-all for like
Can't-
bleeding,
Can't you?
and we do that a lot.
I know we don't really walk places, but like, can't you forage? Isn't that what herbs are for?
Jack says, "Isn't there like a forest nearby? I'm sure they have herbs here."
I would love
Aren't
to
we-
forage at some point.
Aren't we also in a town?
No, I meant they probably sell them. You don't have to like go all the way to the forest.
Well,
Unless you don't
Last
want to pay
time
for
you
them.
and Dawn went up to the forest alone, we had a whole thing. I'm not.
well, I mean, I kind of handled myself, but
Yeah.
Dawn
you know.
didn't.
that's okay.
Shut up.
Hey. No.
Yeah, I wanted to fuck.
Eliana.
Stroke.
Eliana doesn't swear.
It's not canon.
It's not canon.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to forage in Bountifolia because it seemed really like there was a lot of nature going on there. I was like wondering what I could find, but we were kind of crunched for time. We had to get on the ship, so
Wah, wah.
Well, you could have said something.
it's okay.
Do
I
you
was
want to
at the
forge?
vet.
Do you want to forge now?
Maybe.
Walk around? Go to an apothecary somewhere?
We can go back to the tavern and ask people where they are. Maybe they have
Okay.
maps at the tavern.
A map?
Okay.
Like a welcome committee.
Oh!
Are you big on maps?
No, but my friend is, so I want to kind of collect them from different
Okay.
places and give them to her. I think she would lose her mind if I just handed her a stack of maps from places that she's never been.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds fun. Okay.
They probably don't have any maps. Nowhere makes maps, apparently. It's not a thing anymore.
I mean, I would think cartographers make maps, but you know, no one's really sought out one of those yet. So
Yeah.
you know,
You know, Jax, you could.
Damn.
well, everybody's got their own specialty. So I think you know that's probably the way to.
He just bonked himself on the head with his microphone.
So you guys head out of the inn,
To the tavern.
correct? You guys are all leaving the.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were walking and talking.
As you leave the inn,
Yeah.
As you exit the inn.
the inn is closer to the harbor, if I'm not mistaken, in Beville.
Oh.
And as you are walking out of the inn,
Yeah, Verity.
there are patrolling guards, kind of like more so in the streets than you guys had noticed the previous night. And you notice that some of them are all, like there's a good group of them kind of like rushing off to the harbor as well.
Mm.
You guys think that they have more security during the day?
They seem to be kind of in a rush. Dawn like looks around as she's saying it, like people's, moving past her.
And one of the guards kind of overhears you guys talking about it, and says, somebody was attacked in the middle of the night. You best watch your step as you're around here. You know, there's seems to be a killer on the loose.
What? Who was attacked?
One of the crew members of the ship that docked here last night was attacked in his sleep
Last
and was
night?
found dead this morning.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Do you have any information that we Sorry, we came here, arrived on the ship, and we're leaving here on the same ship in a couple of days. So,
Well, that's
is there anything we can do to help?
I mean, that's some of our the guards' business. We don't divulge that to civilians, but
Ira pulls out her adventurance.
Is
there anything we can do to help?
I'm sorry, but yeah, there was
Power play.
he was stabbed directly in the center of his chest in the middle of the night. Nobody heard the culprit entering or exiting the ship, so they're still investigating, looking for clues.
Which ship was it?
The one that we came in on, dear.
Okay, well, nobody had said that. Okay.
He said it was the ship that docked last night, which is the one you
So
guys
ours.
came in.
Oh, well, he said the.
You
okay,
really
well,
got to stop drinking so early.
Nobody responded. Like, no one freaked out. I assume that we all should have been like,
Well, I said,
our ship?
Yeah, I said, oh my goodness.
So, there's absolutely no evidence at all.
There is none. It seemed to be a quick, swift blow, and there was no.
Fucking Sarah.
We've even used speak with the dead and try to revivify from some of our mages in the guard. But there was no. Seemed to be a bit of to unavail. There was no possible way that he could have been brought back or communicated with. So there's no other clues that we could find from his personage.
Would it be possible for me to view the scene?
I can ask around. I don't guarantee that, even as adventurers, that's kind of more Beville jurisdiction. We don't.
If you don't mind just asking, I would appreciate it.
Yes.
The answer is no, that's fine. I would just...
I'll be sure to pass that along and you can check back at the dock later on. They should have an answer for you.
And then just as like DM, remind me, the exhaustion gives me disadvantage on pretty much everything.
It's different in this. It's like a negative.
It's like a -1 or something like that, depending on the
think it's
level
a
of exhaustion.
The -2 sounds familiar.
Yeah, I would say because
I
I got
think it's -2 for all skill checks.
Okay, so
Okay,
-2
okay.
to all skill checks.
I think it's all checks.
Is it all checks? I can't remember.
Fucking. I need to look this up.
I should know this. I had an exhaustion. At the
Yeah, I think
beginning.
it's all checks because I
yeah,
think
we're
I
still
had-
getting used to the new player's handbook.
Yeah.
so.
I just want to make sure that if I have to do any checks later, I do it correctly.
Conditions. Just go to conditions.
You know what? That'd be smart. You're smart for that.
It doesn't say in conditions. That's why I'm asking
Well-
the question.
Oh.
The new exhaustion rule, it says functions the same as the 2014 version. It's condition that's broken out of 6 cumulative levels, with 6 being the death, the 1 being level of exhaustion with the condition removed only when you reach level 0. However, when you make a D20 test, the roll is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level.
Okay.
For example, if your character has 3 levels of
got it.
exhaustion, it's -6. Yeah.
Cool.
And your speed is reduced by a number of feet equal to 5 times your exhaustion level, so you move 5 feet less.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So and he kind of like nods and he kind of heads off, kind of towards the kind of patrolling with the other guard that he was with, kind of heading off, like kind of almost in the direction of the docks, just kind of making their rounds. It looks like
Should I wait?
he told you to check back at the docks later
Okay.
to see if there was any kind of word as far as.
Guys, do you think this has to do with you know who?
Who?
Who? My goddess, my not goddess, because you know the whole weren't able to bring them back from the dead. That whole thing.
I mean,
Well,
that's
it's
what I
not-
thought.
Let's not jump too quickly to conclusions. I mean, there's still a lot more to.
I mean, it was our ship, and we are.
But let's not jump. Let's not force Eliana off that cliff of conclusions.
Yeah.
Yeah? We can jump to them, but let's not jump off of them. Yeah?
Who's jumping off of them? I'm just saying. That's a thought. Let's continue to think about it for a few minutes.
Sometimes murders just happen. Yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Feels very coincidental, though, that it was our ship.
Our ship.
Our ship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to
Verity
the
wakes
tavern.
up in her home. The group heads off towards the tavern, the Glistening Grotto. Verity wakes up. How do you go about your morning as you wake in your bed?
Question.
Okay.
Did I technically use 1 or 2 of my charges last night?
You only used 1. It didn't work
Cool.
for the other 2.
Excellent. I just wanted to verify. Verity wakes up. Is Nadine still sleeping, or
Her bed is empty.
like her being all studious and going to work on time? I'm proud of her. I'm gonna get up and get changed.
Okay.
If there's not already breakfast made, make it.
So you head out of your room and you see that there is some porridge on the table with like there's no like note or anything like that. There's just, it's kind of left on has like a bit of like almost like a ceramic cover over the top of the bowl, just to kind of try to keep some of the heat in, depending on when you would have woken.
Okay. Gonna go. I see that. Think cool. Go check on Mom.
Okay. You see that there is like a similar porridge kind of bowl set beside your mother's, like kind of on the bedside next to your mother. She's still kind of sort of like asleep. There's very much like, it's like the same, like with the towel over her forehead, and it looks like it's if it's been like a new like cold towel has kind of been put on there, and she's kind of breathing a little heavy. She's kind of like in this like sickly kind of state with her like eyes kind of like, you know.
I don't want to wake her. Verity just kind of walks over and just like gently like squeezes her hand.
And she rustles a little bit and kind of response. She seems a little bit more of kind of like when somebody has like a very like high grade fever. She's kind of like almost like one of those like sleeps. She's kind of like aware, but she's not like fully asleep. But kind of can't really like open her eyes. So there's just a lot of.
Yeah, Verity will do the normal, like, check and make sure everything's good with her before.
What does that look like?
Definitely like check the rag, which I guess it's a fresh one from Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure she has water next to her. Probably just like upkeep too, watering the plants and the windowsill.
Okay.
Checking the bed, make sure that's all good for her. Make sure she has enough blankets
Okay.
before heading out.
All right. Where do you go as you leave your home?
Well, Verity's gonna go to the inn because that's where she thinks they would be.
Oh no.
Womp womp.
So you head off into town, into heading towards the inn. Your paths do cross, considering the kind of layout of the town. Heading towards the inn, if they're heading towards the tavern, which is kind of the tavern is like way on the opposite side of the village. Your house is here in the center, almost like kind of not center, but kind of like towards the coastline in the midst, and then the inn is towards the harbor, and they would need to go past your house to go to the tavern. They didn't know this at the time, or like where all the like residential homes were and stuff like that. That's kind of like a condensed area. And as you leave the residential homes, you see and head down towards the inn. I would think would cross paths at this point, given the time frame that you didn't spend too much time in your house. You kind of did some small like chore things. They had their own little like things to eat and conversation, so you got your timelines would have kind of crossed pretty well.
Morning.
So you see them walking towards you.
Someone was murdered.
Verity.
Hold.
Good morning.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Hi, Doc.
Nice
guess we're
segue.
guess we're gonna lead with that.
Hold on one more. Someone was murdered?
On the boat that we came in on?
Yeah.
There was a murder.
Thanks,
know.
Dawn.
Murder. But not somebody we
not
wanted.
not a good kind of murder.
Not
bad kind of murder.
We don't know who it is yet, though.
hand. Give me your hand. Calm
Murder.
down. It's okay.
Murder. Murder.
Dawn, we don't have to
you
kill
had beer?
everyone.
Has she had beer today? And she looks at Ira while still holding hands with Dawn.
Did she get her hands on
No.
alcohol?
No.
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 Mm.
Okay.
So
Just
no,
like
she
murder.
hasn't.
What's wrong with that?
I've been trying to give her tea so she can calm her hangover.
Am I feeling better after the burning my tongue?
I think you use one of your paladin spells. If I know Ira by any means, you would have been like doing like healing hands to your mouth like real
Well,
quick.
no, like is like the hangover.
Give me a Constitution saving throw,
Subtract 2.
but you subtract 2.
9.
Nice.
9.
Yeah.
I heard none.
So did I. You're still feeling it, but it's wearing off a little bit. But you're still kind of.
I took it in
under
a to-go container just in case
Yeah.
for them.
It's slow going.
You put it in your like water skin, and it's just like hot against your leg right
But
now,
yeah,
like in your
someone-
pouch.
Died, and I asked, and then she like puts her hand behind her adventure thing, like she's like a cool kid, to see the crime scene, and they're gonna let me know.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can solve that. While
Verity
we're here.
lets go of Dawn's hands because she realizes they're still holding hands.
Nah.
I didn't specify that we let go.
Dawn
Um,
liked it. She likes physical touch.
There
Damn.
it is. I said, there it is. That's all I said.
Okay. Well, that's good news that they'll let you know.
Does she look nervous?
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't care.
That would be an insight check.
Mm.
and then you can roll for performance or deception, Verity, whichever.
I don't know. No, don't even bother. Don't even
okay.
bother. Don't even bother.
That's
That's a 3 with the -2. That's a 3 plus a. What is it?
Insight.
That's a 7. I don't know shit.
I'm gonna still have you roll because you could
Yeah,
also
no,
roll
my-
a natural one.
I rolled wait, how much did you say?
7 total.
Well, I just rolled an 8, and that's without the modifiers.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you're good.
you're fine.
No, she seems her normal kind of skittish self.
I would usually make an insight check, but I feel like Eliana is too focused on the fact that this might be like Thanatura's doing, so she
Yeah.
has no idea. She like is not thinking about that.
So since we're waiting, can we go see Amar?
I think he's back in Draclavor.
Where's that?
I honestly don't know.
What do you mean? How long were we all together?
Give me a history check.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You've grown up here for 20 some odd years, and
Yeah.
you have no
So?
idea.
It's clear how the relationship went then. Doesn't even know where he lives.
Never took him home to the
14.
family.
14. You know that Draclavor is off the coast of Beville. It kind of sits kind of in between, like triangularly kind of tangential to Beville, as well as in between Beville and Green Hills Village.
So it's kind of
She repeats that.
Yes.
Verity repeats that, and uses her hands too to like describe the triangular.
Sorry, I'm gonna retcon in. It's Green Valley.
Valley.
Was what I'm
Okay.
calling. It's Beville and Green Valley. I don't know.
Green
I've been calling
Valley.
it Green Hills. That's like a real place.
Mm.
It's Green Valley, and so Draclavor kind of sits in the center amidst that, but kind of making this like triangle of these different things, kind of on the continent of Cliffhedge.
Is that like close by? Or is that a hike?
I mean, if we see him at the tavern, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
With that 14, would I know that he normally, like, he's not out in the daytime with my history? Or is
With
that a different
14,
How vampires work in the
I'm gonna add a little bit of lore for Verity here for a second
one?
with
Thank
that
you.
14.
I appreciate it.
Mm.
And you can fill in gaps as you choose. I would think in yours and Amar's history that I don't know how much you would have spent during the daytime together, given what vampires are typically known for. So you can obviously again fill in your own lore here if you've spent time with him in the daytime or like inside of places or not.
This ain't BG3. Yeah, no, what was the question?
I don't remember.
If I spent where Amara is?
No,
Yes.
it's
It was kind of.
not that big of a deal. So if we see him at the tavern, then cool. If not, no
I
big deal, it's
mean,
fine.
He got a new role,
Well,
apparently. Got a new
like bread.
Honestly, I wish it was that. No, apparently he's like this big like emissary, I guess now between
Whoa.
like Beville and Draclavor and Green Valley. It's like all three.
So he's important.
Apparently,
That could be interesting for me to have a conversation with him then. More
Yeah,
than
what's
what I
up
was
with
thinking
you and
before.
wanting to have a conversation with this guy?
Well, I have a solution to his hemorrhoid problem, and if he
He
is
doesn't
the
have
head of a relevant state, then it's important for Port of Mar to have positive relations with
Question.
yes.
That's fair. That's
other
fair.
races.
Is there an adventurance place around Beville?
No, but there's like a refuge like place.
It's sort of like an outpost, maybe.
There's there's an adventurer's refugee or a refuge we can go to.
Picking back off that 14, there is not an adventurous outpost in Beville, and the Adventurers Refuge Guild Hall has no correlation. Unassociated. Unaffiliated.
Sorry, Ira.
Why?
Well,
I didn't ask.
Well, you pulled out your badge earlier, so I was,
I use it as a power play to get onto the ship.
Gosh. Eliana, are you okay?
She's beatboxing.
Yeah.
Were you drinking last night?
No.
Is this a new skill you've picked up?
Analogy is broken.
Have you been hanging out with Mist?
There she goes.
You don't have to answer this. But we were talking earlier, and I think there's some confusion about you and Amar. Are you guys like, you said he was your ex.
Yeah.
So how were
He didn't
things-
feel like your ex.
That's what they're saying.
Verity makes the same face that I make, which is just like, mild disgust, I guess.
Just how should we tread on the whole thing if we do bump into him?
Just keep in mind whatever you say is not going to impact my decisions.
So I mean, respectful considering his position now.
Okay.
Oh,
that's good.
Okay.
And
So we're taking more of a submissive role to his dominance.
right.
Okay.
Verity, make a history check really quick.
I don't know nothing.
Just roll it.
Just straight or history?
Oh no, history check. Yeah.
History.
History. 16.
16. You know the Crimson Sovereign to be a very important position. It's essentially equivalent to that of a noble, or lord of a settlement, and or like, I guess to equate it to our like knowledge of government, it would be equivalent to like a president of like a settlement or village.
Yeah, so he's the equivalent to like Ira's parents of Port of
Correct.
Mar.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Verity repeats all that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
No, he's like a big
Like
deal now, I guess.
Like a head of state.
yeah.
Then yes,
Oh.
I
I
didn't-
should have a conversation with him.
Okay. I guess.
Does he go to the tavern at night usually?
And this is Jax, because with Ira's persistence, he looks at you and says, "Calm down."
I mean, I can try and message him.
Just tell him that another head of state would like to meet with him.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll
Just message him and be like,
message to
"You up?"
Amar.
Oh.
Are you casting a spell?
Slip into his DMs in his head.
I don't
Do you have that spell to do that?
think I do. I have regular message.
Message is only like sending like a whisper
Yeah.
to somebody close by.
120
What?
feet.
What? And this
Yeah.
is Lucio asking
Oh.
Verity. What happened when we left the tavern and you guys were just kind of like hanging out?
Ooh la la. Cozy wozy.
You guys like catch up or?
I'm gonna have Lucio make a history check for me,
Okay.
please.
Verity and Amar sitting in a tree.
Please don't.
Gladly.
Ating.
My modifier +2.
Yeah.
That's a really good spin.
Thanks. I've been
It's
practicing.
still going.
It's purty.
Oh, should have been better. It's an 8 to
Nice.
to the DC.
Your recollection is a little hazy, but you remember that when you guys all left the tavern, Amar was not in the tavern.
Yeah, because they went back and met up at the
They met up
tavern
later, yeah.
after she killed that
Oh,
man.
so I'll
Above table.
Above table very clearly.
So I'll retcon that.
Okay.
And say,
You can ask what happened between the two of them.
yeah. Or I'm gonna kind of phrase it like, so what happened between the two? Well, I guess first off, did you guys meet back up yesterday at any point, or did you
yeah,
guys?
how do you know that he is the dude now, the guy now?
I went back and after seeing my mother and sister, went back, talked to Olga, see what I missed, and we passed by and
just passed by?
Hey,
That's
you're
it?
out pretty late then.
we passed by. We made very awkward
Yeah, that was late, Dawn. Wasn't it
eye
late?
contact, and he might have walked me home.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
That's it.
Really?
That's it. No.
So
You had a
Jack-
whole
so-
other party.
Jack says, "Oh, is that what they're calling it now?"
Oh! Nothing happened for your information, Jax.
Jax is like,
No
no,
one
I
asked for
ran
your-
a marathon yesterday.
Thou dost protesteth too much.
And I mean, if anything did happen, it's none of our business.
Right.
I have another question for Verity. Now keep in mind,
We're just grilling this girl.
I am hungover,
We should.
Okay.
Thriller?
so I'm probably drawing conclusions that I shouldn't be drawing.
Okay.
But if you were out late last night,
Uh-huh.
did you make a pit stop by the boat?
No.
Dice out.
Ooh.
And that's a what? Perception?
Insight.
That would be
Insight?
insight for sure.
So that's a 16 minus 2 is 14.
Minus?
She's still exhausted.
I rolled a
16
12
minus
for
2, and
deception.
then- So that's an
You don't have to
18.
say that.
18.
Just saying.
It's an 18. It's Gabe being goofy at the door. Silly Kelly.
So, Verity rolled a 12.
I rolled an 18 total.
Do you get a natural 20?
No, I rolled a 16 minus 2, and then my insight's plus 4. So it's
Okay.
14 plus 4.
So 16 plus 2 is 18. Yeah. You could tell that she's being weird, but not. To be quite honest, it's not anything abnormal to be alarming. You did succeed on the insight check, but you're trying to pick up on her vibe, and her vibe it
Dodgy.
tracks with her normal dodginess, I should say, with everything with that you've already kind of experienced before.
Well, like I said, hungover.
I mean, would you like to go?
I kind of want more food. If I'm being honest, I kind of want more food. More than anything else.
All right, we can go back to the tavern if you'd like.
He's going in on that door. I don't
Gabe
even
is
know.
so cute in the corner.
He's like really going in.
Gabe the cat
No
is
baby.
being cute up against a door.
Yes.
So if you hear a bang in the background, I apologize for my 10-year-old tuxedo cat's behavior.
We'll post it on the Instagram.
Oh yeah, I just got a great video of you.
Just looking at him.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys want to go get food? Are you
Yes.
going to head to the tavern? What is the consensus? Okay.
Yeah, tavern.
Okay, so 2 votes tavern. Is that everybody else's consensus?
Well, we're not going to Draculavar. That's too far.
All right, Sassy. All right, let's just making sure
Like,
everybody on the
that's
group
the-
is on the same
Oh,
page.
okay.
And on the way to the tavern, Verity would like to mention, since we are a little bit closer to Rivermire, we can stop by the library at some point before
Okay.
meeting Amar later on.
Yeah.
They might have better maps and all for you to look at for like the Nocte Mountains or Bog Marsh.
We might need him now since.
Do you, Verity, do you know
wear
this?
wigs?
Do you wear?
It's not fucking canon.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you have me?
All right. Sorry.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
got
you-
off track.
yeah,
That
you
was
did
bad.
that.
That was my bad. That was my bad.
So you grew up here, right? Around here?
Yeah.
Do you by chance or anyone in your family know of any cartographers that may be around this town or have been around this town? Because, I mean, we could go to the library, but, like, it's really just kind of a reference for, like, you know.
Old stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking.
You're scrolling your lore document.
give me a history check. Yeah.
Please save me.
Fuck.
That would be. Where's my history? I should know. It's a +3.
It's in
right?
alphabetical order.
Sheesh.
I
8.
believe this.
It's an 8.
So it's an 8. Not to your recollection, as far as if there is one in the village of Beville, and especially given the fact that you like grew up here, the DC will be definitely pretty low. So you would know, right? There isn't one to your knowledge. One could have shown up or visited, but there isn't really like anything like a cartographer or a map maker's like business or like kind of artisan shop here.
Yeah, I don't think there is any.
The library is an excellent place to start.
Oh, another library.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
and I
problem with
heard-
libraries, Dawn?
Can you even read?
Oh my god.
I mean, she was reading at the
Shots
library the
freaking
other
See?
day.
fired.
Feed me and I'll be nice again.
Well, let's go get some food, gang.
All right.
DM is losing it.
Deadass.
That was so funny.
To-
All right.
Can I just say that when we went to the library previously, I asked myself that same question. I'm sure she
That
can,
tracks. That
That's my
tracks.
little Draco Malfoy
but she
quote.
did enjoy pictures more than anything else.
She has like the reading level of like a 6th grader.
Do you like the picture books with the fabrics? Like the animals have little like fur and
Oh
Anyway,
my-
so you head to the
Let
tavern.
me just punch this horse while he's down. Jeez.
You guys walk through the rest of the town, kind of making your way back towards the Glistening Grotto Tavern. And you come back in. You see that Olga is not there. She does have to sleep at some point, guys.
True.
The cook that you guys saw the night before is kind of like wanting, or the bar attendant you saw there that night was kind of going around, and
Didn't he have roller skates or something?
that was your mental image
Interpretation?
of everything.
Yeah.
He was an acrobat,
Acrobat,
so
yeah.
he was jumping around.
Not rolling around.
He had roller skates in my mind.
It's a fucking 50s diner
Karen,
restaurant.
the halfling acrobat, is
They're like wooden wheels that he just like tied on with leather to his shoes.
I'd like to think that is Dawn's interpretation of what an acrobat is. But anyway,
Actually, no, stand corrected because my acrobatics is +3. I'm
that does not affect your intelligence.
Yeah.
but like I know what acrobatics is because I'm good at it.
Acrobatics could
you
be
can be good at
athletics,
something and not
could
know what it
be-
is.
you were
Oh,
also
just kidding.
drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like just floated around so much. I was like, he's on wheels. That's amazing.
Hey Verity,
Is he
how's your
flying?
mom?
Yeah, I was about to
Where's
ask.
his wings?
She's not doing good, but she's alive.
Is that what you were hoping for? I'm trying to not to say like yes, like good, I'm happy for you that she is alive, or are we not happy that she's not doing well?
She's alive. She's in a lot of pain. And it's gotten to the point where I just,
Do you know what she has?
no.
Does anyone know
We-
what she has?
No, we've tried going to various different healers, clerics. No one knows what's wrong with her.
And Ira cuts a look to Eliana.
Yeah, I could try looking at her, see what, maybe if I could help.
If you'd be open to it, of course.
I mean, yeah. I mean, go for it. We've
Okay.
tried everything else.
Yeah.
And this is very much Jack starting to be serious and like not make a joke. But it's gonna come off that way, so I'm just gonna preface that now. He says, like, are you a doctor?
I mean, to some extent, I am a sort of alternative medicine.
Okay.
So you're like a witch doctor.
One of those homeopathic.
Hey, her ginger tea has
Yes.
done wonders for my headache, bro. It's worth her taking a
Our,
look.
our
What's
family
gonna help
has
mine?
our family
Food.
has spent generations learning about medicinal herbs, so it might come in handy.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right.
Our family,
Fair enough.
my family back home, we actually have a farm too, so we grow up all different kinds of things.
And if Verity's open to it, dear, I'm not sure that it's really your place to poke holes.
Oh, look, I was asking a legitimate question. I was not trying to be
Snarky.
snarky.
Well, you delivered that way, so.
That's just how I talk.
Fair enough.
I could tell you were being sincere, Jax. It's okay.
Who wants
We all believe things differently.
who wants food? Because I'm famished.
Me too,
I'm
bro.
starving.
You guys are okay. So you come in and you are like you can. It's kind of like free seating at this point. It's very much slower in the mornings. As far as the tavern, a lot of people have gone off to like work and things like that in this small kind of coastal village. But Perrin comes over and says, "Hey, welcome this morning. What can I get for you guys? What do you need?
What's the closest thing you have to pancakes?
I can get you pancakes.
Pancakes, bacon, eggs, juice, coffee,
Hash browns.
hash browns, and fresh fruit. And that's just for me.
Okay, so the large one special. All right, what do you?
2 large one specials and add some beer. Thank you.
All right, so 2 helpings for this one helping for you.
I'll get some bacon and eggs and maybe some hash browns, please.
All right, well, half platter for you.
I ate at home, Perrin.
Okay, and what about you?
I'll have an apple cinnamon oatmeal with an orange juice.
And some chicken wings. No, all right, you got that.
What does that mean?
He's making fun of his wings.
Oh my god!
What?
Right?
Lukiel just
Don got
doesn't even
that.
realize that he like
has
that,
wings.
like what that meant, but he makes that connection like once he's like
left.
Yeah.
like oh okay.
Hey,
It's like, what is that
I
supposed
see.
to mean?
Eliana, he was making a
You don't wanna know.
He's making a jab at my.
Yeah,
My-
it wasn't very nice.
It's fine. Trust me.
He means well.
Yeah, it's not really a big thing.
Okay.
So
He's nicer than I am.
Why don't you leave me alone? Hey, all right, I'll get you guys your food. I'm gonna.
Eliana is pissed.
That's a zero over the edge.
Lukiel has a turn of demeanor, and he goes, "Do you practice this at home in your mirror, like looking at yourself? Do you like say these things just like?"
Some people are just witty, Lukiel.
Dawn takes her
Takes
fork
what
and
they
Maybe I
want.
do, maybe I don't. Hey, it's what works for you works for other people. You know.
I don't think I'm going to leave you a very good review.
Well, it's a good thing we ain't got no pen or paper around here.
Dawn uses her fork and knife and goes, encore, 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 encore.
Verity's gonna try to like calm the table. Like, y'all, it's Perrin means well. He's a really good.
I like him.
I think he's a little racist.
I think he's fucking hilarious.
No, it's Eliana. Let's not throw
Eliana's so
those
heated. Does
words
she start
around
turning like
here.
red?
Let's not throw those words around here.
Maybe
Okay.
you shouldn't be making comments about people with wings and leaves.
Give him, do one to me.
Perrin.
I want one.
Why don't you move over? He goes off into the kitchen.
Gee willikers.
He says to himself as he enters the kitchen, he's like, "Oh, it's rowdier than the circus I used to come from." And you're like,
This is such like
Wait
an
a minute.
eccentric
Hold
like waiter.
Don't say that.
I like him. Allie likes
He came
him.
from a circus.
Eliana does not.
Dawn loves him.
"All right, so
Fucking damn.
you're sitting there at the table waiting for your food."
And Mira's like, why don't you move over?
I can see Ira just taking it to like all of the levels. I'm like, you're not funny. Stop. You're like trying to push me out of my chair. I'm like, get away from
And
me.
then shove her out of her chair and she falls.
Yeah, it's a difference in strength. You
She just lands on it and she's like, boo.
So you guys are going to be like left to talk for a few minutes as you wait for your food.
I have a stitch.
Jackson's like, "I didn't even get to order."
Well, I hate to say it, but you'll probably have to wait until he comes back around, and he might bust out a joke on you too. So
Fingers crossed.
the fact that you didn't order the first time he was here, so just be prepared.
It was just a lot.
I know.
Or maybe Dawn can give you one of her servings.
That's true. That's
She
true.
ordered
She
two.
didn't get a lot of food.
She'll have to
Not me
move
to-
it over to your seat.
Maybe I'll graze on her plate.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to ask for more.
You are left to your own devices for a few minutes.
I'm dying when he said ask for more.
gosh.
Oh my god.
Verity's just like, I work here, guys.
She's like, don't embarrass me.
I asked you last night not to embarrass me.
Well, it's too late for that.
Good thing we didn't start this one.
You want to start making jokes about you?
Verity immediately goes back to the conversation she had with Amar last night and just goes, no.
Oh, like reflecting on it.
We haven't laughed like that in a long
Dude,
time.
we're
guys. That's
all
good.
out of
That's
breath.
good. haven't done that in a long time, y'all.
This NPC is a hit. Heard.
Heard.
Oh my god. Sheesh. Herd. Get it, like herding cattle and moving. Okay.
Yo, my side hurts so bad.
Oh my god.
All right.
We gotta move on, guys. We gotta move on.
All right. We need to real fence this in. All right. Let's go. Okay. All right. So, back to the task at hand.
So your mom's okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's not okay.
She's not okay.
But you want Eliana
alive?
to take a look.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Do you have any other family?
It's been my mom's sister and I for a while.
Your mom's sister.
Yeah, that's what you said.
my mother, my younger sister,
Okay.
Okay.
and me.
How old's your younger sister?
18.
How old are you?
Is that young for tieflings? I don't know. I'm like 120, so I don't know.
Sorry, is that rude to ask?
I mean, it's like
Is she
Gremlin.
grown?
Yeah, she's an adult.
Oh, okay.
We just live a little bit longer than humans.
Okay. I don't know. I've only really ever known like one tiefling before. Now, the second one doesn't count. She's crazy.
Interesting.
Heard.
Okay.
Was there any other reason, like anyone else you wanted to check on while we were here? Or is it just family?
I mean, it was just family. I figured we could also, again, check out the library, maybe, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I hope you have more planned for us because
Well,
I don't know
said
if
it
we're
was-
getting on a boat tomorrow.
We're gonna go to the library, and then go by her mom,
Yeah. I just mean,
and
You
then
know.
I might branch off
Because you need to go back to the dogs, right?
to the dock because I don't really think I have it in me to see a very ill person and not completely cry. So
oh.
I don't want to add that stress to you.
So I'd rather go see a dead person.
And she looks at Verity.
Gee, thanks.
No, it's not a pity thing.
She said, I'd rather go, I don't want to go see somebody who's sick. I'm
Oh,
like, yeah, okay, so go see a
right.
dead body instead. Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought you were talking about my mother being
No,
like a
no,
dead
no,
body. I
no.
was like, whoa.
No, you said she was still alive.
She's going to go to the
Yeah.
dogs and literally go look at a dead person.
Yeah, it's like a brain thing. I don't really. It's hard for my brain to handle.
Okay, you meant the person
Yeah,
who died at the dock. Okay,
yeah, the one that
that's-
can't be saved is the one
Gotcha.
I would like to go see.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Above table, you are playing this off so well.
Yeah.
Like, you have no smidge of guilt. It is amazing.
I mean, I've been doing this for like.
She's been murdering people for a long time. Can you just check to make sure that our ship is going to like actually take off?
That's part of the plan, yeah.
Good.
Above table, did they say who was murdered on our ship?
They
no,
did not.
They just said one
Okay.
of the
No.
crew members.
They did
yeah.
not say who was murdered.
Okay.
That's part of what Ira wants to figure out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And going back to what you were talking about, Dawn, I didn't like the plan was to be in and out. Like I wasn't planning on having it stay for too terribly long.
Yeah, no, we're all planning on that, but there's been a murder. So I'm just asking to see if there's anything else interesting in this town in case we have to stay longer.
Maybe
And I
if
kind of
you-
have to investigate that just to make sure it's not part of a bigger thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's also different stores and all here too.
Do you have a nose here?
A what?
A
who?
nose? Maybe you have like an outlet version.
I have no idea what that
It's
is.
a clothier.
Are you still saying words
we
we're
have a-
supposed to understand?
They
We're-
sell
we're not-
clothes.
That's what I thought you said, but it also sounded like clothier. And I was like, oh, is that
Yeah, like
another?
a clothier. Like they sell clothes.
And I would think Jax has a place to say this, given he looks at Eliana, Dawn, Verity, Lukiel. She's a city girl.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, about Ira.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot here. It's just all the stuff that we need.
We could go to the vampire village. That sounds interesting. Not right now. I'm just saying in case
Bad idea.
we're here for forever.
But we can talk to Amar next time he's in town. I'm not going to a vampire village.
Why?
Because they
I would think Eliana would also be disagree with that.
Mm,
Do you know that vampires are undead?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I had a problem with Akira at first.
Yeah. That's true. So you came around.
I'm I'm iffy on it.
Are we not allowed to go?
One at a time is fine, but like,
I've never been.
Oh. Then I definitely don't want to go.
You know,
You dated him.
You know, there's a lot of with my faith, I was kind of trained in like a black and white way that like undead are like really bad. But then we met this vampire in Port of Mar,
my hometown.
Woot. So I don't quite know how to feel about everything.
I mean, that's okay.
But I am proud of you for continuing to learn how to live in the gray.
It's really hard when like my whole village was kind of attacked by undead. So
It does not sound fun. Not only that, but Verity,
Yes.
you dated him for how long, and you never went to his town?
Like, I dated him for a couple years, and then...
Did you ever meet his family?
Give me a history check. See, it's 'cause you didn't. You were like, huh.
I was trying to be cool and not look at my dice when I did it. That's a 7.
Again,
Damn.
it's a lower DC because you've grown up and lived here. People don't go to Draclavor. It's a very much like an agreement that they will stay there and we stay here kind of situation. Because otherwise, it would probably be bad.
Bummer.
I feel like we would have to be invited, if anything.
so like the opposite.
Like, we cannot go there. We cannot go there.
Okay.
They stay there. We stay here. Everybody happy.
So what you're saying is that non-vampires have to be invited to the vampire place.
I'm just assuming. Like,
Well, if you never got an invite, then
And Perrin comes back and like starts like kind of like sliding the like plates across the table to different people. And he says, "All right, there's your food. You guys need anything else?"
where are your roller skates?
Don, he never had
What?
Oh,
He never had roller skates.
that's awkward.
Lucio.
All right.
Lucio,
Like, hands up.
Lucio points over at Jackson. He just goes, I don't think he ever ordered any food.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you want? Yeah. And Jax says, no, I'll just have a little bit of what she's like. When he points to like Ira's like plate of food, and he's gonna have a little bit of that.
And Ira's eating like a cartoon character and just like.
And he's like, all right, I'll
Going
get you.
in.
I'll get you a half platter, and maybe cheer up a little bit. You look a little gray. And he.
There's only 2 of us left.
That haven't been grilled?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Verity is a coworker, so
It's like
probably
Dick's last resort. It kind of like gives you like a little bit of
Yeah.
harassing.
Yeah.
as he-
Ira's the only one that hasn't been touched yet.
Crossed.
So he goes away and gets to go to get more food and stuff.
So no to the vampire village. Great.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can ask him now that he's like president or whatever, but
He's a head of state.
head of state, president, Amber, what?
Was there an
whatever.
election?
I don't
Probably
know.
not. If he inherited
Well,
the role,
it's-
there probably was not an election, so that would not make him a president.
maybe he's like a vice president.
Anyways,
All I know is that they said that his like father passed away, and then he got it, like inherited that way.
How does an undead pass away?
Yeah.
Probably the same way
Aren't
that
they
we
like immortal?
Very carefully.
ended the undead in the forest.
So he was
about to fall.
murdered? God, there's a lot of murder today.
I mean, he didn't. Ma didn't say he was murdered.
Aren't vampires supposed to be immortal?
Apparently, they all have their time with death. Apparently, or
Okay.
he said something along those lines.
I really only know like the folk tales I've heard from my friend Verity, so I don't know much about that.
Honestly, I pay like half attention to what he says.
I mean, he is
Dang,
pretty.
maybe that's why you broke up.
Is that why? Just because he's
We
pretty?
broke up because my mother got sick and I needed to take care of her.
Is that it? That does not seem like the only reason. Not after last night.
We've been listen.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. She's
That
unpacking.
that was the original like reason, and then just every now and then we would see each other.
Okay.
Following the last 3 years, give or
Oh.
take.
Okay.
Oh, so this has been like an ongoing casual.
So not.
So it's, but
Yeah.
why is it off now?
Yeah, things
I-
seem tense.
There's a lot of layers to this
Kind of
one.
like camping.
Wow.
Intense.
All right.
Leave the jokes
Yeah.
to Perrin.
Just experiences change people,
Fair enough.
and there's more important things than whatever that is.
Yeah, your level of hatred does not. That's not what you're sharing right now.
Hatred.
You told him. You asked him how his hemorrhoids were doing.
That was pretty aggressive.
That's not on the level of. Oh, we're on and off again.
You say that to someone that's cheated on you.
Yeah.
It could have been endearing.
Here, let's try it, Lukiel. How are your hemorrhoids doing?
Well,
Do you feel endeared?
It's not about what's being asked. It's about the
The
The way it was asked? Okay, then let me try it again. Hey, Lukiel, how are those hemorrhoids doing for ya?
That is kind of how she said it.
I did not sound like that.
That is
did.
exactly what you
You
sounded
did.
like.
You kind of did. Yeah, you kind of
Yeah.
did.
I looked at everybody and was like, wow, she's kind of a bitch right now.
Wow.
Which was not a bad
Well,
thing.
Then you made fun of him too. So
I did. I'll own that. I did make fun of him.
Really? What'd you say?
I don't remember.
Probably something about
I
the
would have loved to.
hemorrhoids.
I would have loved to hear it.
17 on a con save. Am I feeling better? Starting to get there.
yeah. I
Okay.
feel like the
After
amount
the
of food
food.
and
Okay.
Perrin had already came back and given Jax his food and stuff like that.
I guess my like emotional reference to what is usual as endearing may be a bit skewed.
That sounds like we give you trauma.
Well, I mean, it's just
Roman's gone. Who else is going to do it? We have to.
from
We do.
there's
Roman was kind of a little scary sometimes.
Roman was awesome.
He scared me a
Let's
little.
be real. We all can be a little scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys that I had a dream about Roman last night? That he came back and I started crying and I gave him a hug. And then he didn't return the hug. But he just stood there and just took the hug anyway, which to me was the same as him taking a hug.
very Roman-esque.
I know.
Yeah.
So he would definitely. Wow, that's.
His eyes were locked on Jax though, because he's my boyfriend's boyfriend.
I
so
wonder how he's doing.
Oh,
I
I don't
hope
know.
he's okay.
Can we send him something?
Me and Jax have been writing him letters.
No.
Haven't heard back, but
yeah.
he's probably dealing with
He's
stuff.
probably dead.
Mm.
He has a wife.
He does.
Hmm.
He does. I hope he's alive.
Wonder what she's like.
Why did he leave again?
Having to deal with his
His evil brother-in-law.
brother.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, did we know that it's
Family
his brother?
drama.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Oh. DM is shaking his head.
No, he never once
I don't
told you
know.
what happened when he was captured.
So he
So
just
none of you know any of this.
he just left. He was like,
He just
He's
left.
out.
When you
Damn! The cave.
That's some betrayal.
Not
Yeah,
the shark in. Yeah.
Right. If I'm remembering
was
correctly,
I don't remember.
you guys went to Port Mar. Nobody really asked him what happened.
Well, whenever we got there and we were doing the retcon mission, and he was captured, and we were listening in, Lexworth came in, and they had an exchange. And
Oh yeah, we scried on him.
yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
that was like the only information that we got.
I stand
Well,
corrected.
let's not diverge too much from the case in which Verity is still has
correct.
Unrequited feelings for a vampire. That's
Yeah, she's
Is
still
that
like
why you were
doesn't quite have closure.
No.
the more you deny it, the more it just confirms our
I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
seem.
suspicion.
You know, she's red, but she's getting a little extra red.
I agree.
Thanks,
Gotcha.
Jax. I appreciate
Get a
it.
little brighter.
It's like so red that the red that she would be is like almost like a purple. I feel like.
Yeah.
So, we don't have to talk about
We
it.
don't, but also we know what happened. So
And what happened?
Dawn, I don't think we do know what
Coil.
happened.
Yeah, just like
I
Lukiel
think me
said.
and Dawn know what happened. I think
How
are
do
the
you
only
guys
one-
know what happened?
Well, just like Lukiel
Well.
said, don't assume. It makes out of you and me.
Eliana.
Makes a what?
I can't say that word.
You can say that word. I want to hear you say it,
I
Eliana.
don't want to say
You're
it.
grown. You're a whole woman.
You're grown. A grown
So what do you
woman.
what do you and Dawn know that we don't? What do you mean?
Things were spicy and now they're not.
Or he cheated.
Well, that's kind of what I was gathering too.
Yeah, there was some tension there when they interacted.
Don't
We're
tell us
making
it's
you
hard
more
to-
uncomfortable, guys.
It's hard to cheat on someone when you're not together. Just saying.
Hmm.
I mean, she
So
didn't
you
know what was
wanted
going
to-
on with his bottom.
You don't
I
just know
told-
that about your friends.
I told y'all last night I was lying about that so I would hurt his ego. All right.
His ego didn't seem very hurt. It seemed like
No, because I bully him a lot.
But why would we want to do that if you said
So
that we
you-
have to be like serious around him because he's got a higher role or ranking in the
Well,
ex-girlfriends don't count for that.
Well, last night was the first time I ever heard that he was even part of this lineage.
So it was after you insulted him, basically.
Yeah, how do you feel now? Is foot in mouth?
Oh wow, that's
or a whole leg.
I regret nothing.
Or
Yeah, you
egg on
don't.
face.
I regret nothing.
As you shouldn't.
fair enough.
Well, now that we've eaten.
Grilling Verity aside, or what are we doing? Are we, we're sitting here with this
I need to
empty
go back to the
plates
dock.
and-
Yeah, I think we're ready to cash out. So
I'm good to head back to Verity's. We're check on her mom.
we're not
if that's
gonna
okay.
pay for the breakfast.
Well,
Parent, how
yeah,
much is
just
this
a
going to cost?
I'll give you the employee discount. It's half off for you peoples.
Okay.
Wow,
Just
that's
just don't tell Olga. She'll probably fucking kick me in the ass.
She'll kick my ass before she kicks yours.
No, I mean literally, she'll kick me in the ass.
Maybe
Oh
that's
my
where the
God.
hemorrhoids keep coming from.
This is giving like
What the fu-
Mickey from Shameless.
So you
What's the damage?
The damage will be 5 gold for everything.
Total.
Yeah, total. Yeah,
So
it's like a gold a piece essentially.
A gold
So
piece.
expensive.
wait, you did Verity? Did you get
No.
I ate at home.
true eating at home?
All right,
Yeah.
3
Saves
gold.
money.
I'll say 3 gold.
Yeah.
3 gold. So 1 gold per person, or whoever wants to cover each other.
Sorry, I
I'm
just
doing
had
the
to
gold.
give you guys a little kiss.
It's kind of startling.
I'm stimming. I'm
Um,
sorry.
So
Well, it would
who-
technically be 4 gold, wouldn't it? Or no, because Jack's 8.
It's half off. There is 5 of us.
I just removed 1 gold. Just you do whatever,
Yeah,
I
guys.
we're
also
good.
It's fine.
removed a gold, and so is Ira.
Hey, if you're saving
Okay,
money,
it's
don't
covered.
question it.
Fair enough.
so,
So-
All right, guys. Thanks.
So this is Jax again. So there's library, Verity's, docks.
Mm.
What are we doing?
Probably, I would assume the library.
So
Where we're headed
some people are
next?
going to the library. Some people are.
I'm gonna go to the dock.
She's going to the docks.
Oh.
Ira, can I come with you to the docks?
Sure.
I thought you guys were going to the library.
I thought you knew.
okay.
That was the whole reason.
Hold on.
Holding.
We'll go to the docks. You go to Verity's.
Okay.
When you're done, we'll meet you at the library.
Nice.
What are we
Okay.
supposed
Now.
to do?
Whatever the hell you want to do.
Wherever
Now,
you guys
Verity,
want to go.
Yes.
Where is the library?
Okay.
The library is somewhere in the city. I don't
direction.
She's like, it's
Verity
over
gives
there.
you directions through the
Okay.
where to go in the village.
Great.
Give
Thanks.
cardinal direction. Can you like?
You take a turn path
Tweet,
down
tweet.
that way, then
Yeah,
you go
so-
down that dark alley. You'll see a bunch of pink flowers here, and that's when you know you've gone too far.
So yeah, Lukiel and Jax, wherever you guys want to go, you can come with either of our groups, or you can go
Oh
your own
yeah,
way.
we'll just hang out. You know.
You can hang out.
Just- where do you want to go?
Shoot. I mean, I don't really know.
I mean, there's
We're not like from. I don't know where to go.
Crime scene or
It
dying
sounds like
lady?
crime scene or sickness. You wanna
I mean, you
Uh,
could also
get-
just
do you wanna
hang
get
out in
down
the
with
library.
the sickness, or do you want to go to the docks?
Do you want to see a sick person or a dead person?
Or you honestly, you could do neither if you're not feeling up for it. You
I
could
mean,
just go to the library,
true, we
and
can
hang out.
Explore, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
there's
Yeah.
the market. There's an apothecary.
I'm not in charge of you guys. You guys have your own free will.
I hope so.
There's a smithy.
Ooh.
A what?
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
They make weapons.
There's like a crafters guild. Like, there's a lot to do. We're small, but there is a lot to
So we
do.
could meander over to the. You said a smithy? Wouldn't it just be
Yeah.
a smith?
It's,
They call them smithies, like a
Smithy?
blacksmith, like
Yeah.
smithy. Yeah.
Like with like 2 E's, like smithy?
Nope, with a Y.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jax, if you're down for that, or I mean, I don't really know what you'd prefer to do. I'm down for whatever. So,
They probably have a lot of good local stuff here. Small towns tend to have a lot of good local creators.
we'll think for what we want to do.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. Okay.
Boys' Day.
all right. So you guys leave the tavern, and you guys have split up into the different pairings of two to kind of go out through different places.
I have an idea. Jax, I think it'd be cool if would they have brass knuckles? Would those be a
Whoa.
thing that you could like get?
Ooh.
I mean, go to the smithy and see if they can smith up some brass knuckles.
We can ask, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dawn hears this and like starts to turn around.
Because for your like the way that you fight,
Yeah.
it's very you.
Well, it's like, magic is it's
very punchy.
infused in it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Unfortunately, the way D&D works, you can get cool equipment, but it's not going to add much if you already got powers. I wish it worked like
If
that.
it's stacked, it would be cool.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Mm.
I guess we could see. We could see if they have anything. I don't know. We
Homebrewy?
can always ask.
Pick me up some of those. She's like walking out the door with Ira
Give me a bear.
as she hears it. She's like,
And Jack's
if
like,
you
you
see
snooze,
anything-
you lose.
Damn.
So you guys all venture off into the town of Beville to engage in various different things. Yes. Which we will pick up on next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in this crazy D&D world, and we love it. Check us out next time, the next episode of Off the Beaten Quest. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
bye.
Bye.
My name is Allie Goodell, and I am part of the filmmaking team on this podcast. I play Eliana Silmare. She is an Eladrin elf druid. She actually comes from a family of druids, and she is originally from the Feywild. Her family worships a goddess named Verity,
this was her whole world, was Florenia, was learning about Florenia and the balance of nature and eliminating abominations and the balance of just the world in general. But then when her village was attacked, she ended up going to the material plane, and things were not as they originally seemed. She kind of realized that she was indoctrinated as a child, and so as of right now, her character is still kind of naive, but she's constantly learning about the world around her and trying to figure out what her place is in the world when she finds out her whole religion has basically been a lie. I think one thing specifically to Eliana is that throughout her experience on the material plane, she's been struggling with finding what is right and what's wrong, the truth to things. So her trying to formulate that balance and how she fits in life, I think, is very important to her character. And so seeing the way she interacts with her new goddess, Flossidus, and just the world around her is interesting to me. This cast of characters is definitely something. I feel like there is a lot of chaos, but usually that tends to happen in a lot of D&D campaigns. I feel especially with Dawn and Lukiel's shenanigans, things get a little crazy, and that can be really entertaining. And I also feel like there are some great emotional moments between characters as well. I think there's a great balance that people are gonna love. You can find us at Off the Beaten Quest on all podcast platforms, as well as Twitch and YouTube, and you can also find us on our social medias.
Hi, I'm Allie Fussell. I am doing all of the marketing, project management, keeping everyone on track to get Off the Beaten Quest out into the world. I play level 8 paladin fighter Iratan. She is an unconventional paladin. When I built her, she's my first campaign character. When I built her like my favorite gaming characters. So she can kind of do a little bit of everything. She specializes with a longbow and 2 daggers, so she's pretty lethal at distance and up close. She also has a good bit of emotional stuff, which I think the audience can pick out pretty easily, where she loves her friends and her family deeply, but the way in which she does so is not always the way in which they are open to receiving. So she's having to learn and navigate a lot of that. She also has a companion that is a homebrew race called a hop owl. That's half rabbit, half owl. His name is Alyer. And is also in a relationship with an NPC that our DM / my husband created named Jax. So you'll get to hear all about that. So in the first few episodes, there are a lot of moments that are very interesting for Ira. One of them is a very special moment with Alyer where he has to make a choice on what his next steps will be. In addition to that, there's some pretty gnarly emotional turmoil that Ira navigates with one of her party members that I think will be interesting for everyone to hear and to listen to get some insight into her backstory. I think the audience is going to find someone in this cast that they relate to, whether it's someone that's just goofy and likes to have a good time, whether it's someone that's serious, that's trying to learn how to loosen up, or whether it's just someone that completely understands who they are and accepts themselves for that. While they might still feel like an outcast, they'll find a bit of themselves somewhere in this campaign and in this cast. You can find us on all major podcast streaming platforms, in addition to YouTube and Twitch, and all social media, which is linked in the caption right down here.
Hi, my name is Nina Neubauer, and my role with the podcast is to be the personality hire. I am loud, I am rambunctious, which helps with my character, but it also helps on the social media side of things. In the campaign, I play a barbarian furbolg. Her name is Dawn Heartsmead. She's about 8 feet tall. She's hot pink. She has pink hair, pink skin, and she has also like singed ends to her hair that's like kind of like reddish. She has a lot of questions in her life, but that's okay, and we're discovering them together. And she also loves to wield her great axe, which is super duper fun. She chants, she is a little unhinged at times, but she always brings a good time. I think everyone in the campaign wishes she was a little bit more polished, but let's be honest, she's not gonna be, so that's okay. We open up with something having to do with my character, and Dawn has been away from her home for a long time, and she feels like she's only been surrounded by questions and no answers recently in the last several years of her life. So keep that in mind when listening to it, that it's a very intense moment for Dawn because she hasn't been around anything involving her home in 5+ years. Furbolgs are very community-based, and they love nature, they love the growth, they love their roots, and Dawn has not been able to have those things in many, many years. So keep that in mind when listening to the first couple episodes. Everybody has something or someone to relate to because we're all very different and we all have a big dynamic, and I think it'll be kind of fun for the audience to discover everyone's role in the group as we continue on, and come along in the journey of discovering our own roles in the group, because I'm pretty new and Verity is pretty new, so we have a lot to discover as a group. So it'll be relatable for the past, and everybody will be excited to see the direction that we all take in the group. You can find Off the Beaten Quest on all major podcasting platforms, including YouTube, including Twitch, and don't forget to follow us on social media.
Hello, my name is Noah Dockery. I am in charge of all of the audio things that you hear in our podcast for Off the Beaten Quest, as far as the processing, mixing, and mastering of all the audio. I am playing the character Lukiel Oliver. He is a level 8 bard. His race is an Aesomer as well, so he's part human, part celestial. There's a little bit of a connection piece with that as far as in the story. And also he is from Cottageport originally, but he has since left Cottageport in hopes of finding better opportunity with his performance, with music, and also creating some new friends and making some new connections along the way, in some ways that he honestly might have not really expected. I think what you could probably expect from Lukiel, especially starting out, is that he is not a great listener. He kind of wants to do his own thing sometimes, and some of that also involves he's a little bit particular about some of the things that he prefers. He's also very hungry and very particular about the foods that he is wanting to consume at any given time. So he's just generally very sporadic in nature. So, and I think that you guys will probably pick up on that pretty quickly. What a collectively just unique grouping of people as well as characters in this campaign. It's really honestly entertaining to see how it all comes together, to see how it all kind of ties in, because on paper a lot of that sort of stuff may not tie in super well, but in actual session and in performance, kind of as we go through these different story paths and these different sorts of winding roads, if you will, it kind of works itself out in a weird way, but yeah, it all kind of comes together really nicely. So you can find us at Off the Beaten Quest on our YouTube channel as well as our Twitch channel. You can find the podcast on all major podcasting platforms, and you can find our socials at the links provided in the caption below.
Hello, my name is Sarah Matlack. I'm kind of a flex role, and so I kind of jump from task to task, just wherever people need me, I'm there. I play a red tiefling named Verity Belladonna. Verity is a rogue warlock, kind of in the trickster fiend area, which can make things quite interesting. Verity does have a mother and a little sister. Her mother is Ilma and her sister is Nadine. She also has the blue human eyes. One of the cool things about Verity is that she is showing as a tiefling, but her mother is actually human. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we had for her character art and everything was that she had blue human eyes, just so we could have both representations of her father, who was a red tiefling, and her mother, who is human. We are a rowdy bunch, and I feel like with each character there is going to be someone you can connect to in a way. And that's another thing I love about this group, is that you can find a way to connect to them, whether it's through an emotion scene, whether it's just getting drunk at a tavern or climbing a tree. You just never know. Dreams can show someone your truest desires as well as your darkest fears. And so I would keep an eye out for those dreams and visions, because you might see them pop up every now and then throughout the series. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms, including our Twitch, YouTube, and other social medias.
My name is Justin Fussell. I am the game master for Off the Beaten Quest. Outside of being the game master, I do a lot of writing, world building, filmmaking. Me and my wife, we run Imagistorm Productions together. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun just incorporating a lot of the world building and writing that I do into this, building this campaign overall. It's been really interesting to kind of take the filmmaking background and kind of apply it to being a game master, because essentially a lot of like the players are the actors and you're setting scenes and you kind of just let them freeform in the space versus just any like preconceived dialogue. So it's a lot of fun just to kind of see, you put the situations in their hands and just kind of see what they come up with. I enjoy playing D&D with this group because they're like my found family. It's been, I love everybody that sits at this table. It's been a lot of fun to just be able to kind of build this world with them together. A lot of the way I incorporate this with a lot of the players and the story and stuff has been a lot of collaboration, seeing how their stories intertwine with what I have planned and vice versa. It's going to be a very interesting to see how the people receive everybody. Everybody's got its own different flair, and the way that this team is made up of very colorful characters, I think everybody's going to love them. They're going to find something to laugh with and have fun with, and it's going to be really good. In the campaign, I play a lot of the different NPCs, of course, but the main one that I play is Jax. He's a fighter monk druid, and he came from a tribe of changelings that existed in the Fey realm and kind of had some backstories with different things and different interconnected characters. He's become a love interest and boyfriend of Ira's character. And if you want to know more about Jax's backstory and kind of how it's interconnected with the whole story, you can always check out the prologue. I chose to do a homebrew setting versus an existing campaign just because it was something where I could kind of really just expand and create a universe. I wanted to have something that I can build upon. I honestly like to be able to throw twists and stuff at the players. I think that's the biggest thing I think is really fun. There's a lot of ideas of what's going to happen, where things are going to go. Just as much as they can improv in a setting, I can do the same, and it kind of allows for a lot of really good back and forth. Definitely, if you've checked the prologue, there's some things that happen in episode 62 that is a little bit of an Easter egg that even the players haven't figured out yet, which has been really nice. But it's going to come back around eventually, and it's going to be a really big aha moment. But I think that's one of the biggest things to look out for. It'll be a very blink and you'll miss it kind of moment. But other than that, just being really on the lookout for a lot of just the backstory and the things that how this is going to be building up to as we get into the next arc of the campaign. So they can find us on any of the major podcasting platforms, as well as our social medias and Twitch and our YouTube. All right, and welcome back to Off the Beaten Quest. This is part 2 of session 66. This is part 2 of session 66, Rough Around the Edges. We're going to jump right back into it. Verity had another part on another eventful part of her night, and then transitioned into what some could perspectivize as a romantic walk to her home with Amar, but that is still to be determined. And then the party rejoined, had some funny dialogue at the Glistening Grotto Tavern, and then subsequently decide what to do in the town of Beville. We rejoin our group of adventurers amidst those endeavors. And we will start with Eliana and Verity. So Eliana and Verity headed off back to Verity's home so that Eliana could potentially take a look at Verity's mother. And this is where we get back into it. So enjoy tonight's episode of Off the Beaten Quest.
Here it is.
What should I be expecting when I go inside?
Nothing too expensive, that's for sure.
Oh, I just meant like your mother.
Just she's in a lot of pain, no matter, like, even if you touch it, seems to be.
Okay.
It's hard for her to like walk and talk, and just doesn't have a whole lot of energy.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. Okay.
We walk in and I kind of take her to Verity's mother's room.
Okay. It's as you walk into this like kind of modest home, it's very condensed floor plan. There's the main open room, as I described when Verity was there before. You are taken to one of the two doorways, kind of the one that's on the left, and you enter into Verity's mother's room. It's very, a modest room. There's some different furniture, and it's a little bit more, it's well kept, and clean and stuff like that. Nadine and Verity try to do a very good job of upkeeping the room. But there's different, washing cloths and kind of basins for different, water and, temperature things to put on her forehead and things. So, yeah, you walk into the room with Verity.
What is your mother's name?
She forgot her mom's name, guys.
Listen,
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
Mom. It's just Mom. That's her name.
Mom. Ilma, I believe.
You believe?
Me when I write my character backstory document and then never go back to look at it again.
I have a whole family tree that I made up. Okay, Ilma.
Ilma. Okay.
Her name is Ilma.
I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna timidly step into the room, see it. Is she awake?
She is in this feverish kind of half sleep, I would say. Kind of very much in pain and kind of just doing her best to keep her eyes closed because there's a lot of light sensitivity and stuff. The curtains are still drawn in as well as the shades, but it's still with the lanterns and stuff that are kind of illuminating the room a little bit, that there is still a good amount of sensitivity to a lot of different things, as well as the light.
And as a reminder, she is human.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She gives a cursory glance towards Verity and the mom, being okay. But she doesn't really think too much of it because she has a stepmom, so it's not the weirdest thing. So, she's gonna approach the bedside and be
Hello, Ilma. I am Verity's friend, Eliana. And I heard you're not doing too well. But I'm gonna try and help.
Verity is...
I'm here. And she kind of grabs her mom's hand gently. This is Eliana. She's here to see if she can help you in any way.
Tell her not to trouble herself too much. It's kind of this very in and out. So what do you do to attempt to assess what is happening to this woman?
First, I am going to cast. I'm going to, first of all, place my own hand to my chest, and a little wave of blue energy goes throughout, and I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just take out my herbalism kit.
Okay.
And I'm going to just try, see if I can maybe, mix up, a mortal and pestle,
Pestle and mortar. Yeah.
pestle and mortar. That's the
Yep.
word.
Yep.
Kind of try and, get up some herbs, maybe some lavender, some chamomile, things to, calm the nerves.
Okay.
See, where that goes at first.
Okay. Give me a performance check to make sure that mixture goes off without a hitch.
Can I make a nature or medicine check?
Oh yeah, medicine. That makes more sense.
Medicine.
You right.
Okay, it's not great. That is an 11. Oh, wait, I get
Ooh.
enhance ability.
Yeah.
I get advantage.
Oh wait.
That's much better. 26.
26.
Oh my god, that is a lot fucking better.
So you put a mixture together of herbs and kind of use the pestle and mortar to kind of make it into a bit of a salve. Mixing in a little bit of water to kind of give it a little bit of a paste kind of situation. And I would think that you kind of take it and kind of almost put it a little bit under the nose, kind of a little bit like
Yeah.
Vicks, where so it's kind of starting to hit the senses and kind of
Love that.
versus having them to ingest it
Right.
versus because a lot of those herbs and stuff could be a pretty good shock to the system versus this is just kind of going off of aromas and stuff to it do.
I think it's funny how I don't think either of us know how herbalism works, but Allie F is sitting over here and she's like, I know how herbs work, but we're just yeah, it does the thing.
Allie F knows how herbs work. Ira does not
Yeah.
at all.
Fake it till you make it, bro.
Yeah. So you do that and it calms the nerves and she kind of she seems a little bit less restless in the state of it, but it's still very much she's very weak and frail at this point. And you can see even though she's kind of she's covered very well with the blankets to kind of her torso that what given her age and how old she is, there is a sense of you can see that there is a lack of body weight and things like that. So she looks a little bit diminished. What do you do next?
Let's see. Can I sense any sort of, just by looking at her in my little information I know about the arcane kind of magic or divine magic, however, do I sense any sort of magic conditions on her that may be affecting her?
Do you have detect magic?
I do not. That's why I was I don't know if I'd be able to.
I guess
try.
make an Arcana check just to see if there seems to be anything there. I would think that you could do that as a druid.
Oh. That's a 2 + 8. That's a 10.
Damn.
Wait, no. I only have advantage on wisdom based skills.
From what you can tell, it doesn't seem magical,
Okay.
or at least there's no spell kind of causing this, I would think.
Okay. As I'm... Does she have any, open cuts or wounds? Anything,
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. What are you doing while this is happening?
Being through this a lot, she's just letting you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything I can do to help? Maybe. Possibly.
Wow.
Fucking pulled up her detect magic spell on her sheet.
Damn.
Don't call me out like that.
I was just trying to see if there's any, perhaps, magical reasons as to why she might be in this state. The lavender and chamomile seem to calm her down a bit, but
Okay. I mean, can you detect magic or?
I don't have that prepared currently today.
I feel like there's a different type of detection, like a different kind of check you could. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to step on your toes. I'm just looking at all of them and I'm like,
So if I were able to, see and tell you what I was seeing, could that help?
Yeah, that might help.
Verity's gonna cast detect magic on her mother for the first time ever.
Hey, Mom.
Okay.
What you got?
Now,
I'm scared.
you cast this spell,
Yeah.
and the magic that you see before describing this to Eliana is you see there is this like the same kind of like purpley shadowy magic that you've seen before, but it's kind of like almost like it's like flowing through her bloodstream. And you recognize this as what your patron is doing to keep her healthy or healthy enough. There is something connected with the magic that you've seen from the shadow entity and what is happening within your mother.
Okay.
In accordance to put two and two together, it's that this is, you see the magic that is the shadow entity is using to, in the agreement that you've made, to keep her from diminishing further.
Okay, so I just see that then.
You see that. There's nothing that seems other than that. There's nothing that kind of rises to the surface as far as anything like that. You're seeing what you would assume is part of that.
I see stuff in her bloodstream.
Oh.
Like this glowing purple stuff.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Hey,
19.
not bad.
19. You feel it like creeping up the back of your it's like almost like a tingling kind of in like the back of your like skull. And you guys can continue.
Verity does look like a mental middle finger.
I'm gonna try something else, a bit more magical.
Okay.
Let's see. Ilma, is it all right if I hold your hand?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't want to hurt you.
I'm going to take her hand very gently, cup it between my two,
Okay.
and a little like purpley, sparkly magic starts to like flow like up through her skin. And I'm going to try and cast Lesser Restoration to see if that does anything.
Okay. Eliana, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
It's spreading. Oh no. That's a 15.
15. How much healing would Lesser Restoration do?
It doesn't do healing. It says you touch a creature and end one condition on it: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
That's 4, right?
Yeah,
It's
those
listed?
are 4 conditions. Yeah. Am I gonna go
What's the
blind?
first one listed?
Blinded.
You can no longer see.
Oh shit!
No.
Like that's it? Like that's just,
Something.
bruh.
At least for now. At least for now, guys.
Jesus.
It's okay.
That's like a really
Eliana?
nonchalant way to just blind a PC.
I'm here for it.
Okay, that backfired a little bit.
Is everything all right?
I can't see right now.
What do you mean you can't see?
I cannot see.
Like you're
I try to turn to look toward Verity.
Okay.
okay. Yeah, no, you
My
You-
eyes are like glazed.
You
over.
notice that the what once was colorful like irises in Eliana's eyes are now kind of like this white, kind of glazed over color.
Okay.
I'm gonna let go of Ilma's hand.
You can see.
Okay, so there is a direct correlation between whatever is happening in your mother and the affliction that happened to me.
Are you going to try and grab her hand again to
Can
test that
see
theory?
again. Yeah. Let me make sure.
Nothing happens.
I mean, your eyes don't look any different this time.
Okay, maybe it was the casting of the spell. Maybe something is fighting it off.
Probably.
Um,
Maybe. Possibly.
okay, I'm gonna try one last thing.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Maybe two more things. Okay. So it's okay. I'm used to this sort of trial and error.
I can't heal you. I'm just letting you know.
That's okay. Okay. All right, Ilma. We're figuring this out. And grab her hand again,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. What, remind me of the effects of that spell?
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any ongoing spell of level 3 or lower on the target ends. For each ongoing spell of level 4 or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Okay. You cast this.
Yes.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Yeah.
Called it. Knew it was gonna happen.
I didn't think it was gonna work, but I was like, I'll try it. I'll try to do it. Oh, that's a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I knew I had this for a reason.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay. You can't cast magic for 4 hours.
Damn.
Does she
Well-
know that
And
it's
Dispel
for 4
Magic
hours?
didn't do anything, right?
It dispelled
me.
your magic.
Whoa, wait.
Backfired.
Do
So
I
it's above
feel
a
that
level
it's
3.
gone?
Yeah, you feel like there's a little bit of like a hollowness that you feel as you're again like a connection to like plants and the stars and like this kind of the weave is because it feels like out of reach at this point.
So I've concluded that whatever is happening is kind of ricocheting back. So I tried to dispel the magic within your mother, and it dispelled it within me. So I don't.
What?
Yeah, I don't like it either.
So
I don't know.
what do you mean it dispelled on you?
My connection to the weave is definitely severed, at least for now, and I'm trying not to panic about it.
I am so sorry.
No, I took the risk. So,
Okay. Well, thank you for trying. Again, that's okay. That's a lot more powerful than I thought it was. Okay.
yeah, you are dealing with some powerful magic.
Yeah. You know, I don't. There's a lot to unpack here. Maybe I need to just find a way to get rid of this thing, and then maybe we could try and do it the other way. That might be the way. Do you
know why your mother is like this?
possibly?
Okay.
Maybe. Like, originally, no. The reason for the part of the current state, yeah, maybe just a slight little bit.
I think I get what you're saying. I think I get it.
You do?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, all right.
Hey, Elma, I am so sorry. I couldn't help you more.
That's okay. You tried your best.
Yeah, I just, is your, Verity, is your sister, does she stay around?
I mean, she lives here. She's at work right now.
Okay, I guess you could tell her to leave some lavender and chamomile around to maybe soothe your mom's nerves when you're not here. It'll help at least a little bit.
Barry takes like a pen. What was that again? So I can write this down with the
Lavender
lab.
and chamomile.
How do you spell cam?
Oh, jeez.
CAMO.
I spelled that wrong. Okay.
MILE. Allie G can't spell out loud. I have to write shit down.
MILLE.
Yeah,
There's
two
a double
L's.
L.
There's 2 L's, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. That's close, and I think I got the right. I can say it later. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Cool.
Well,
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
I think I need to touch some grass.
Okay.
I feel disconnected right now.
All right, it's out the door and then
Okay.
to the.
Okay. Meanwhile, Lukiel and Jax
Yeah.
Before they go, I want to talk to Colt.
talk to what?
Colt.
Cole?
Cole.
Okay.
The
I thought you said Colt.
I thought so too.
Cole.
Okay.
I think I have to spell it quick. Hold on. Push the button. Just kind of don't push the button. Okay.
Oh, speak with animals.
Yep. Hello.
Yes.
Can you do me a favor while you're on your adventures today with Lukiel and
I
my love?
suppose.
Can you scrounge up some acorns for me? I have a spell I want to try tomorrow.
How dare you?
Look.
Assume I am just some common squirrel?
Look.
I am above this.
Look. Alyer, I'm sorry, bud, but this is honest.
I never.
Alyer is not exactly the greatest of foragers. You, I have seen, are very resourceful.
He's just staring at
Go on.
So I was hoping that you could use your skills in hunting and gathering to assist me. Because I admire your resourcefulness.
Lukiel's like, you don't really have to hunt for acorns.
I have to go to the dock and look at a dead body. Do you want to come? I don't have time to look for acorns.
I'm good, thanks though.
Yeah.
The fellow winged one makes a point. I do not have to hunt. But I guess, given your flattery, you've made up for such insults to my species. I stay above the ground. Those insolent things climb and have to forage around. We squats have a better way of getting food, but I guess I'll diminish myself to some lower.
What's your favorite food? I'll get you some at dinner.
Well, I don't really know.
Do you eat meat?
Not really.
No, yeah.
What do you eat then?
I mean, I eat food.
What
But what kind of food?
kind of food?
Bats
Lo
eat, like,
mein?
bats eat,
Edible
like,
food.
berries.
Oh my gosh.
I'll get you. I'll buy you an assortment of fine dining experiences this evening to repay you for your efforts.
Fine. I guess that should suffice.
And Ira bows her head at Cole,
Wow.
kisses Jax on the cheek, and then walks away.
Mom, you didn't have to do that.
You're with me today, bud.
Can Dawn make a comment? You know how like you like cut scenes
Yeah.
they like fade out. Dawn turns to Ira like as they're like walking away and like looks back and she's like, "Damn, that girl has so many opinions on acorns."
Could you hear him?
No, but I stood there for 5 minutes while he screaming me about them. I have no idea what he said, and I don't care to.
Apparently, I insulted him.
So, Ira and Dawn head off towards the docks. Lukiel and Jax head off into Beville to explore and see what the village has to offer.
Oh, we sure do.
Where is it you would like to go? As you have walked through the town, I'll give you things that you had already saw, kind of as you've experienced going from like the inn, coming from the docks, going to the inn, going to the grotto, because essentially it's kind of cutting through the majority of the whole town.
Okay.
You had seen the Karen's Cove Apothecary, the Iron Ember Smithy, the Wishing Wave Market, the Verdant Library of Sages, the Pearl Crafters Guild Hall, the Sanctum of Tides Temple, the Adventurers Refuge Guild Hall, and the Mariner's Haven Inn, which is where you guys had slept.
It's between the temple and the smithy.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one. It's been a while since I tapped into my celestial elders
You want to go to the temple?
for guidance, but it's also like I also kind of like am trying to branch out and try new things as well. But I'm like, I feel like at first I would kind of need some sort of guidance as to like what, like, I don't know, just like what the next path chosen should be, or just like what direction I should be going in, because it's like I don't want to just like, you know.
So do you want to go to the temple?
Sure.
Be pretty cool.
Okay.
Sure. I feel like that's not going to be very like entertaining or eventful for Jax though, because it's like, what's he going to do?
Verity didn't do anything really of substance when Ira
This
went
is
to the
true.
temple.
You let me handle that.
Okay.
So you head through the village of Bell, and you make your way over to the Sanctum of Tides Temple.
Mm-hmm.
The exterior of the temple is has all these adornments and kind of carvings and things dedicated to ocean deities and water spirits. It kind of features a lot of smooth stone walls embedded with seashells and a bell that kind of rings in the sea breeze, kind of up at the top in a kind of point at the very top of the temple.
Okay.
As you enter, the sanctum is arranged in a kind of like a circular fashion. There's a water pool in the center that reflects moonlight during the night, and statues of various deities line the walls, each surrounded by offerings and kind of altars. A human cleric with kind of this like intricate kind of seaweed tattoos and symbols all kind of all over their body kind of is seen kind of at different, is kind of like checking on different kind of altars as they notice you enter. And they approach you and say, hello, weary traveler. What brings you into our lovely sanctum today?
Yes, I'm looking to connect or to reach out to my celestial lineage, or I don't want to just say like elders, because it's like it just could be like, you know. But yeah, just looking to connect with my celestial lineage, and
do you know which deity to which that you are affiliated with?
No.
So you're a lost soul amidst this chaotic realm.
Aren't we all?
I'm sorry. Am I being perceived? I'm just really trying to connect to my people. I don't really know.
Well, I would love for you to connect with your people. But
I would too.
Don't
Yeah.
I can't tell you who your people are.
Okay. Lucio's trying to think really hard, like the Jimmy Neutron, like freaking
give me,
like the brain.
Give me a history check for me.
Okay, that's what I was. Yeah. And my history is a +2.
Or no, religion check. Sorry.
Whoa, okay. Huh?
Your ancestor's name is painfully obvious.
No. His celestial
Oh.
ancestors.
Yeah.
Okay.
My religion and history are both the same modifier. It's +2. So it's a dirty 20.
Okay.
So
A dirty 20.
I gotta know.
She sits and ponders for a moment. And I think, and she kind of notices the wings, and I believe that I can be of assistance. And she says, follow me. And she walks you over to a altar of, it looks, the statue is very, it almost just seems like the statue of kind of this like gender ambiguous kind of figure that's kind of standing there, that has these like, they don't look like feathered wings. They almost look like these like kind of stone or like metallic adornments, or like what like you would see a stone version of a metal solid thing would look.
Mm-hmm.
And the she says, this is the god of dreams, Morpheum.
Morpheum.
I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of Asimers, if I am so bold as to understand your heritage, they, a lot of their celestial patrons or ancestors provide guidance through dreams, visions. I would assume that would be connected to at least this deity in some way, and you can see a little bit of a resemblance, and she kind of like gestures to the like wings that are on
Gotcha.
his back, or their back. And she says, well, I would say you can pay homage, pray, meditate, however you so choose to connect with this deity. Maybe this is at least I am just trying to kind of guide you in this direction. This
I appreciate it.
maybe this patron is not the one to which that speaks back to you, but there's certainly no shame in trying.
Okay. So I attempt to call to my celestial people,
Okay.
and I say, I'm not, dude, because I don't know like first names, so I'm like, I'm not really sure like which.
How do you try to either meditate, pray, commune with this type of like deity? If you are going to try to connect with Morpheum, I don't know if that's the one you so choose. There's like clearly other altars, but you can.
But I've been led to this one because it's perceivably of the most resemblance to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I close my eyes.
Okay.
And I'm sort of just like, Morpheum, if you can carry this message to my celestial lineage, I'm looking for guidance as to what is next, or what shall be next in my journey.
You hear silence. You just hear like the sounds of the temple for the moment. You hear like this like silence as you kind of cast this like mental message out. And you almost feel like this tug. It's almost like something's kind of like pulling like on your forehead, if that makes sense. It's like almost like it's not physically feeling that way, but you can feel something like pushing outward.
Right.
And you have this sort of, you kind of start having this out of body experience where you are seeing yourself standing in front of this altar.
Whoa.
And you are beginning to kind of drift into this dream kind of like weave scape that's like this like series of like almost like clouds of color amidst water. Like if you would put like kind of dye into water and it kind of just like wisps around. That's kind of like all that's kind of floating through the sky as you're standing on this almost like flat level of like water, or like, and it feels like you're standing on water, but it's as thick as glass.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like kind of reverberates as you kind of take a few steps forward. In this part, your wings are glowing like a bright white.
Oh, wow.
And you kind of take a few steps for a moment before you see kind of through this like kind of colored weave that like this massive like body and like torso of face kind of just like kind of moves forward. Or kind of stands up in this like distance and kind of like almost coming out of the horizon. And you see kind of almost like a silverish blue kind of skinned, has like eyes like glowing white, like hot, like just eyes. The face looks familiar. You remember a face that you saw very early on in your adventures. You had a dream much like this, but in a different life. There was something that gave you purpose. And it was something that warned you of something that was threatening the realm, but it feels like eons ago. And you feel this almost like strings kind of like attached to the back of you. And as you look over your shoulder, as kind of like some of the strings start to tug, you see an image kind of in this like, almost like one of those like 3D drawings where it's kind of like the lines are connecting to the next shape and then it connects to the next shape. Your lineage, almost as if it's a timeline of your ancestors, the people that came before you, your family, but of you specifically, you in different lives. And you see Luciel Oliver the First.
And I'm just like, dude, I am like absolutely, I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? What could this be?
And this face that, and the kind of like towering god that is standing there is this almost embodiment of the statue that you were standing in front of. And it looks down upon you with this like almost like laser kind of focus and says, "You half-breed."
Whoa,
neither celestial nor mortal. Those caught in between.
Yeah. Hi. Hey.
Why do you call upon me?
Who are you?
I am Morpheum, and what brings you to my domain?
I do not mean to disturb you by any means, Morpheum, but I am on a journey in which I've come to a not a crossroads, but just kind of more or less a question as to what shall be next in my and my knowledge and learning and my what I am called to do.
And you see this like whoosh, like of like the sound of like rushing, like as this like his massive hand kind of like raises up, and it like slams against the horizon in front of you, and it kind of like ripples this like ground. And there's
like
you see in front of you now like these strings protruding forward from you. And it cascades off into the distance, kind of leading towards him.
What is this? What are these strings?
You feel this like connection to the chain behind you of the different like and you see in front of you these lines are connecting to something in like often like a very small tiny vantage point. And behind you, as you kind of like, again, you're assessing this like connection, you're looking behind you, and behind you, you see kind of coming out of the horizon, behind you, there is this like blue, like explosion of energy that is growing and kind of like enveloping the horizon behind you. And
oh no,
Morpheum says,
no.
You are to stop what is coming. And you see, as you kind of look off into this vantage point, a massive blue energy eruption in front of you.
Oh, and this Luke Heel does not know what that is.
You do not.
Oh, no.
And you see there's this kind of like almost like gold kind of astral projection of your body.
Oh, geez.
And it's in front of you, and there's this... It looks a lot like you, but there's a difference in the armor that you're wearing, and there's this hefty, like, bow and arrow attached to the back of you, amidst, like, kind of like making like an X on your back with your loot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that you look battle scarred, and he says, "Go forth and stop the pending apocalypse."
But what does it mean?
Well, that's the part of the journey. And he like his hand like whooshes down and then like flicks you, and you kind of like float back in this like, and you are back in your body in this temple.
Oh my gosh. And then he's just like looking around. He's like, Jax, where are you? Are you here? Are you still...
You see Jax meditating at a different temple, one of the altars in the temple.
About how far away is he from me?
I'd say about like 15, 20 feet.
Okay. I don't run to him, but I like do like a brisk like walk like, Jax, hey, kind of like sit down next to him.
Okay.
If he, I guess I would assume he's sitting.
Yeah.
When he's meditating.
He kind of like opens his eyes. And I would say you see him sitting in front of this deity patron type that's like kind of a changeling kind of favor as far as like a god and stuff, or what would be assumed to be known as the god of many forms. And it is... he kind of like opens his eyes and kind of like, he's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm not gonna lie, Cole is very much sitting like kind of cross-legged, like next to or whatever what a squirrel's like kind of legs would do. Continue.
I feel a bit alarmed. You know when they say, to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought about that before I had looked for a bit further insight, because I'm not really sure what to make of the experience I just had or the information I just got from what it was all very vague, but it was intense and just vibrant and yeah, I feel like this is a thing that I would probably want to explain also to the rest of everybody as well. I wouldn't want to just like, I feel like, I don't want to really have to repeat all of it. I feel like it'd be better to just kind of
100% valid.
Yeah, but it's kind of a lot to say the least. How about you? Have you found anything it looks like you and Cole are meditating here. I hope you've
yeah, I figured I would connect to my kind of racial heritage, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
That's,
not much connection that I have with a lot of things of this realm, but it seems that in some capacities there are, folks who understand changelings, I guess. I'm just trying to make sense of all of this in a way.
Fair enough.
But dude, are you okay? Like, do we need to go?
I feel like, yeah, I would say so. But if you need more time, like feel free. Like, it is not like,
to be honest, nothing was happening. I'm good.
Okay.
We can go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I honestly didn't expect anything to happen. I just figured I would just shoot in the dark here.
Gotcha. Yeah. Man, like, I feel like there's like it's pressing, and I want to tell the others like right now, but like it's also, I don't feel like that's like this is the only it's like place I'm trying to be right now. I actually had an idea in mind for you. If you perchance wanted to, entertain the smithy.
Yeah, we can go to the blacksmith. I'm not.
I had an idea for you for something.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's kind of cool. I don't know if you'll really be into it. It kind of, for me, it seemed like your style. Like, it seemed like it'd be a cool thing, but I'm not really. We'll just have to see. So,
well, lead the way. And kind of gets up off the ground,
and we leave the temple with
Okay.
Not wasting any time or energy to get on out of there.
And you see the cleric person that you were talking to, kind of like, it's like sitting, like kneeling at like a one of the altars, and kind of like looks and is kind of like smirking just a little bit. That you made like some type of connection.
And I look over and I'm like, yeah, that was that, yeah, yep, yep, that was the one. Thanks. We might see you again, maybe not.
Happy to help anytime.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah. Let's Jax, let's get out of here.
All right, so you leave the temple. Meanwhile, Ira and Dawn head off to the docks.
was not what I was fucking expecting at all for any of that.
if you interact with different scenes, the DM will give you some candy.
Now you have a deity to fuck with you in your sleep like the rest of us.
Dawn is not joining the fuckery.
No, you just get abducted by a tree.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Was the muse with me the whole with like the?
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Oh.
So the two of you head down to the docks. There's still like a lot of like soldier presence down there, as it's only been like a few, like maybe like an hour or two. And there is there's kind of like a line kind of like stopping like at the docks, like stopping people from kind of going down towards like the ships and stuff that are in the harbor. How do you approach?
She still has her adventurance
Okay.
badge out, and just, her and Dawn she just bypasses and just goes to the front.
He said, how do you approach? And we said, guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing, indeed. So you head off you kind of approach these people, and the guards, they see you like approaching very diligently, and they're like, halt! No entry beyond this point.
Halt!
No civilians down the docks. We are still conducting an investigation on this, that there was an incident overnight we're dealing with.
Dawn rolls her eyes
Good things.
lightly.
Lightly.
Good thing we aren't civilians.
He notices like the adventurance amulet and says, well, this is of course a Beville matter.
I spoke to one of your commanding officers earlier. He was going to let me know when I came back a few hours later whether or not I can get eyes on the crime scene.
And he kind of looks back over towards like there's kind of like the kind of catwalk that connects to the ship. There is there's a kind of there's a Kenku kind of in a bit of like a duster kind of coat standing at the catwalk.
Are there multiple Kenkus? Do we have a murder of crows?
No, it's just one.
I have an
Is that what they're called?
above-table
Multiple crows together
question.
called a murder.
Sure.
Do Kenku in this world have Kenku D&D lore, or do they are just birds? Because
Elaborate.
because Kenku D&D lore is that they can only repeat phrases that they've heard.
No, this is more
they're just
so
like bird dudes. Okay,
pro people, yeah.
gotcha.
A little bit more of a homebrew on that one.
Just wanted to clarify.
Because I think there's Kenku and there might be crow folk, so maybe that's what I'm kind of more leaning towards with crow folk. But regardless, this is kind of essentially like a raven in like a kind of leather duster coat. Very like formally like kind of dressed in kind of has like a
Detective-y vibe.
detective-y vibe, has like a notebook in his hand, and is kind of like scribbling some things with a quill into it. And he kind of like waves, like kind of like gestures to the guard with his hand, and the guard's like, and he kind of like steps by to let you pass.
Yeah. So we approach.
Okay, so you head on down to the catwalk, and there is So it seems we have an adventurant in the town of Beville.
Yes, Iraton, and this is my colleague Don Hartsmead.
Is she your bodyguard?
Can I like stretch my muscles and like my shoulder and like my leather and like armor kind of like you hear it stretch and
Kind of like the creak of like leather as you're
Yeah, and like do
Okay. Yeah.
I want to roll for intimidation.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for intimidation.
It's only 13. But I still wanted to do that.
Okay, with a 13, it's a presence, but it's not like he doesn't seem to be like phased or anything.
No quiver.
I do more protecting of her than she does of me.
I can.
Damn. Okay.
I can see that.
Anyway,
you guys.
what do you know of the scene so far? I'm not particularly interested in taking over the investigation. I'm just trying to gather some.
I would say not. This is a Beville jurisdiction, and we don't need any adventurers sticking their nose in it.
I am currently on a cross-continental journey with myself and my party, so it's important that I take note of murders so I can identify a pattern if there is one.
Especially on the
And,
ship that we were traveling on.
So you were traveling on this ship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We
And
arrived
you,
early.
write something in the.
We arrived early in
Oh.
the evening.
And if I'm not mistaken, that the adventurance pendant there, that's of a training officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct?
Gotcha. Come this way.
Oh, it's like taking you in for questioning. Oh shit.
Fucking guy.
So he
Higher rank than he is.
he brings you in back up to the ship that you're very much familiar with. And you see that kind of like there are different guards kind of, and like a lot of the crew is they've stopped what they're doing. They haven't really like been loading or unloading or whatever. They're just kind of like sitting there with the guards. And he brings you down below deck, and as he's kind of like you guys are walking down these steps, he says, the name's Cravensworth. Figured I forgot to introduce myself, but there's a lot of going on, you can understand. And you guys walk down into kind of this the hull of the ship, and he escorts you to kind of this one of the quarters of, and you see there's as you enter the quarters, it's kind of like taped off, and there's like the bodies like very much in the bed, and like there's kind of some other more of like not like armored guards, but more of like kind of like similar detective vibes that are kind of like there. And you see as you kind of notice, the first thing you glance around the room and stuff, that there's a lot of like maps and different like instruments that would be used to kind of discern directions, and you assess that this is the navigator's quarters of the ship.
First thing she's gonna look for is just gonna look around the environment. You know, I know that they've already done like a scan, but does it look like they've started to like acquire and like remove evidence from the space? Has anything looked moved
They're just
or
surveying
touched?
the scene a lot right now. From what it looks like, there is like one of these like detectives is kind of using a little bit of like detect magic or kind of different things as kind of some spells to kind of get a lay of what's like around the body and stuff.
Is there a pool of blood around the body on the floor?
Not as much as you would think.
Is there any?
So because he's on a bed and like the mattress, it's kind of like soaked up a little bit of it, but there's not like it's like especially with a blow to where it was, there isn't there's like blood around where the instrument like was inserted to commit the murder, but there's no blood behind it. There's only blood that's kind of trickled off the top that's kind of gone a little bit around it, but there's not much.
She's gonna pull out like a basically like a hanky and just like put it over her like face, like mouth and face.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna go up to the body and she's gonna
Whoa!
she's gonna inspect.
Take it easy.
She's gonna inspect regardless. She's gonna inspect the like incision.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to see like the size of it. Does
Roll
it look
investigation
weird?
check.
Does it look? This is gonna be shit because my dice are like fuck you.
While she does this, I want to cast magic awareness.
Okay, not bad. The 16 minus 2 plus 4, so it's an 18 total.
18 total. You see that there was it was a very quick like insert. There was like a quick separation of the sternum as it entered.
Damn!
It went straight in through the rib cage and straight into the heart itself.
How strong was this person?
And
You realize how hard that is to get through the sternum?
the blade width is about 3 inches in width, and there is kind of blood around, like on the clothes and stuff that he was wearing, but it's like a very small blood spot, almost as if the way the blood like exuded from this spot, it's as if the blood flow in the body like stopped like instantly once, like after a certain like short period of time. So that way the blood that would have kind of like kind of been circulating through the body and would have exuded out of the body at this moment, or this incision point, that it looks odd given the circumstances, because blood would normally kind of continue to leak out of a body as it drains from the veins and stuff. It seemed as if all like energy, movement, anything of all this kind of seemed to have stopped.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Just for funsies. See what it turns up.
There is there's no magic in the body. And your magical awareness is just picking up the fact that like people are using magic to do the same thing, is to figure out like what. The body is very much like cold, it's blue. There's like this kind of like almost like a paleness to the skin. Almost indicating that there was kind of almost like a rapid decay of it. Normally a corpse would stay warm for a certain amount of time after a murder, but this was very like it's been like cold, and kind of rigor mortis is set in like very, very quickly.
Which is not normal, it's abnormal.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said,
Like he's been cold for too long.
Yeah, based on like I've watched too many crime shows. Based on that's why I don't know like any of this, because it sounds way too specific. The way that like a body as it's killed would stay warm for a certain amount of time because of the like normal blood flow, the heat and things that are normally kept within like cells and stuff like that. This seems as if all of that was quickly just like turned off.
So I'm not picking up, this is to the detective. I'm not picking up anything normal about this. I'm not detecting any magic, any of that, but what is your team thinking?
And he kind of like looks over at the other detectives and like, takes an adventure to figure that out.
She rolls her eyes and ignores him, and then just...
Dawn also rolls her eyes.
And then just presses. What is your team thinking?
This is abnormal for sure. This seemed to be a bit of an rapid, just almost as if this person was just dead in an instant. There's no lifelessness. There's no life going out of it. There was no way for us to use speak to the dead, anything like any type of necromancy spell. There was nothing. Like there was no soul in this body whatsoever. It was just gone. This is just a meat husk at this point.
Well, this was a person. This was a very nice person, so we're not going to call him a meat husk.
Dawn is a little sad. Like her shoulders are hunched. She's not happy. She doesn't.
I also envision Dawn as taking up 90% of the available space in this room.
100% factual.
Okay, well, I'll be in town. Do you know if the ship will be allowed to leave tomorrow night or not?
We'll respectfully dispose of the body, and this crew has a job to do. You're gonna mourn their, it seems like from what we interviewed from a lot of these people that this was a hired navigator. He hasn't been with this crew for very long.
It was very nice, though.
That's great, good to know. So they, they're gonna do their job. They're gonna mourn him however they need to, and the ship's gonna move on and do its business. Everybody's got a job to do. Things carry on. You see a lot of stuff like this, and not like this, just in general when you do the job.
Word of the wise on these cases. This was a person. This person did matter. This person does matter. So your crassness towards the end of his life is disrespectful to him and his memory. So regardless of how many of these you do, maybe approach it with a little more tact.
I'm sorry, my bedside manner isn't, take it up with my chief. And he kind of like...
Let me
huffs.
guess. You're the chief.
No, I just said take it up with my chief. What are these doing? What do they train these adventurers with? Jeez. God.
Dawn wants to leave, and she like shoves him out. Like she shoulder checks him out of the
Well-
way. And be more of a hip check.
So you
but
so for like layout purposes, he's in the middle of the room where the bed is, kind of where Ira is, and the door is behind you. So are you just shoving this person and then turning around to walk out of the room, or?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like a circle move to like instead of turning, I'm just gonna like take steps like around myself and like bump into him and then leave.
Okay.
And I want to go talk to the chef.
The chef. Okay.
Yeah. Bronsel? Is that his name?
Let me look at the. It is Brobzel.
Brobzel. The fact that I even got letters on my page with these names is amazing.
So you venture off towards the kitchen to your best recollection as far as the layout of the ship. I would assume Ira needs to go with you to give you free reign at this point. As
Which is
this
fine. That's
kind
fine.
of locked down in the ship.
That's fine.
So
I would
you,
assume she'd be consoling Alyer a bit because he would not probably be okay with seeing a dead body for the first time.
Oh,
In that way.
For the first time.
In that way.
okay. I was gonna say he's kind of you murdered a couple people.
He's always in the box, though.
I don't know though. The whole time you were in Bonifolia, he was out for a good majority of the time. Anyway, so you head off to the kitchen, and you see that there's like a couple of guards, kind of stationed just outside the door, and through the like chef's window kind of thing, you see like Brobzel kind of just like taking a like cabbage. He's kind of just like tossing it up and down like a head of cabbage.
What's his name again? Bronzel?
Brob,
Honey.
Brobzal.
Brobzel.
Brobzel.
There you go.
And so yeah, so like, and the guards aren't blocking the door. They're just on either side of it, just kind of in this.
Can I
area.
go in? I'll just go in.
Yeah, you can just go in. Yeah.
Let him in.
Or Ira waves her badge and like kind of like lets you in and stuff.
What's up, Brob?
Brobzel.
No. Nope. No end to that.
Hello. I didn't expect to see you back here.
Yeah, we heard some stuff went down last night.
Yeah, it's sad. Petterin's gone, and I can't even cook for people. It's kind of a lockdown situation, to be honest. Things are slow enough around here. It's kind of crazy.
Did you see anything last night? Hear anything?
No, I sleep kind of like a log. I don't, the guys give me crap for snoring a lot. It's, it's like a foghorn. I can't.
You got a leghorn in there somewhere?
Oh my god.
I have a leg of corn in here, I think.
I didn't get that joke.
Foghorn, leghorn?
Like the Looney Tunes
Old Looney
character.
Tune. Yeah.
Damn.
We'll let it pass.
I saw a murder in here.
Oh.
There you go. That clicked.
Yep.
The Southern chicken. Anyway.
Rooster.
Rooster, yeah.
You were asleep. Slept.
Yeah, that was his response.
Yeah. Did anybody else hear anything? See anything?
I mean, they asked the crew some things. I've been down here the whole time. I don't really, I just want to make food. I don't want to lift any boxes. They try to get me to do that. they're not gonna fucking. I get paid to do one job. They're not gonna fool me to do other stuff.
Right. No, I get it.
I lift food. I don't lift crates.
Right. No, yeah, totally.
What about crates of food?
No, they bring that in here. I don't do that.
Do you have any berries or anything?
Dawn, we just ate.
It's not for me.
Is it for Ayer?
Yeah.
Because he just ate too. He's full. Look at him. His little belly's all swollen. He's bloated.
Never mind. I'll go fuck myself then.
Just don't do it in my kitchen, you know. I mean, if you want some berries really bad, I got some over here. You know, if you know, it's.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
There you go. Sorry, your friends mean to you. A lot of people
Takes
are mean
berries,
to me too.
looks at Ira, and shoves them in her mouth. And she walks out.
Trust me, I get it. You know, come back and see me anytime. It's good seeing you.
See you tomorrow.
Will I? Okay. Sure.
Aren't we leaving tomorrow?
Do you know what the departure time is yet?
As far as they tell me that's what the thing is, I don't know.
Great.
That's above my pay grade.
Catch you tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Sure.
I'm coming back for this man.
Have we left the room?
Yeah, I would assume you guys had left.
Was he drunk? Because I asked what time is departure, and he's like, I guess so.
You didn't hear? That man doesn't do anything but one thing. He cooks.
He does food.
Food, and that's it. Departure? Nay. Landing? Nay.
Sorry, I was mad about the berries.
Yeah.
We're not mad, but mean.
They were
Look at
delicious,
him,
by the
though.
way.
He's been he's eating so good. He's getting fat.
No, it's better. He'll fill out his armor, and then, there'll be no, ricochet.
He barely
if he
fits.
If he gets hit or something like that, it'll just,
That's not how that works.
bounce right off.
That's not how that works.
How does it work with me? Why do you think I drink so much beer?
I'm the one spending damn near all of our combat experience keeping you up.
Yeah.
Are you guys walking out of the ship?
Yeah,
as you're
yeah,
talking?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone else you want to talk to?
No.
This was a bust.
No, I don't think so.
Why not? What do you feel like?
Because now we have stuff. I have a hunch, but I'm going to keep it to myself for a while.
Oh. Dawn looks you up and down and is like, lifts her eyebrow. She's like, okay.
Don't do that.
You do that.
It makes me feel weird.
Yeah. You should feel weird. Miss Mysterious.
And not in a fun way.
What?
Miss Mystic over here. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Not the face. DM is making a face right now.
All right. So where are you two headed?
Library.
You're heading to the library. Where are Verity and Eliana heading at this moment?
Library.
Okay.
What, Booby?
And you and Jax are going to look for the rest of, or you're going to the smith.
We're going to the blacksmith.
Going
Yeah.
to the smith.
Yep.
Okay.
The smithy.
All right. So you head off to the smith.
Mm-hmm.
So Jax and Lukiel head to the smithy.
Yep.
Um.
Sounds like Smitty.
Smitty Werben Yicker Jensen. So you approach the Iron Ember Smithy. This fortified stone smithy features kind of iron reliefs of hammers, shields, and armor. The forge chimney constantly is emitting a steady steam stack. Got some enchanted smoke that smells faintly of oak and cedar as you kind of approach. As you walk into the building that's kind of attached to this, what you would think that the forge is kind of in the back area. This is the shop kind of front area.
Yeah.
The walls are lined with an impressive array of weapons and armor, some simple and some functional, others more ornate and enchanted. The main forge you can kind of see it in the back, there's a doorway leading to the back. There's kind of this blue glow. The forge glowing like a little bit of a blue fire. And there's this stones that are at the bottom of the hearth that kind of look like they're kind of enchanted, kind of giving it that heat. There's a dwarven man with a hefty beard, kind of standing behind the or kind of comes out from the back as you guys enter, kind of almost like one of those like ding like bells on the door as you guys walk in. And he comes out and he says, he has like this like kind of dragon scale mail kind of armor on, and he and it's like got like this like blacksmith apron kind of over it. He says, "Oi, what can I do for you? Welcome to the Iron Ember Smithy."
Yes. Hello. My name is Lukiel, and my friend here,
Dern Stone Shield. Well, it's welcome to this shop.
Yeah.
Your friend here. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no.
It's introducing yourself. I figured I'd do the same. Steady.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you. Yeah. This is my friend Jax here.
I was gonna be. Please interrupt him again.
Nice to meet you. Do you know? The name's Dern Stone Shield. Welcome to the Iron Ember Smithy. What can I do for you?
How does Jax respond?
Like, hi, like, what's up?
So we were just at the temple in town.
Oh, yeah, the temple.
Yeah, but, so I had, the idea that I am kind of looking for a particular set of things for my friend here, Jax. Do you, by chance...
Oh, we got a lot of things here. There's a lot of different stuff. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Right. So what I'm looking for is not necessarily traditional.
We do that too.
And what would be en masse. So...
Like in a church?
No. Just like widely and massively produced as far as just what would be
massively
usually
produced. Okay, all right. I see what you're doing there. Okay.
Yes. Do you by chance specialize in making any armor for hands or fingers, such as like kind of looking for like
I got plenty of gloves around here. I can fashion some of those for you if you need those.
Not necessarily gloves. I was more thinking, do you guys like have brass knuckles?
Oh, you're gonna have to elaborate a little on that.
Or
lad.
even if they're iron, I mean, it doesn't have to be brass, but just like kind of, it's essentially a metal bar across your knuckles with a finger holes for each finger. Usually about 4. 4 fingers excluding your thumb on each hand.
I guess I could craft something like that. That's kind of seems a bit of a custom order.
That's what I kind of meant by it isn't really traditional. So I was a bit hesitant to ask, but I figured I would.
What would a fellow like you want to do with something like that?
Well, it's not for me, sir. It's for my friend here.
Oh yeah, he seems like he could wield something like that. That makes more sense.
Yes, exactly. I actually am looking for. Oh shoot! Hold on, 1 second. I'm actually looking for a. I'm not exactly sure if you would specialize in things like bows.
I make some bows from time to time. I got, I do get a little bit crafty with the wood sometimes. You put a string in there, you got a bow.
Maybe not so much a wooden bow, but potentially maybe a...
Well, you can't really have a metal bow, lad. It doesn't really bend like that. You're not gonna get the same, from it.
Not even like steel? Or like kind of
Steel doesn't bend.
Lighter, just...
Are you a little bent, lad? That seems,
We love a charismatic character.
Yeah, just kind of a bow. I'm just been kind of looking to getting into, using it just kind of...
I forget the English implications of that word. I apologize in advance.
That would be in retrospect, not in advance.
In retrospect, yeah. Sorry, that too.
Yeah, just looking
Yeah,
for.
I got bows. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just can't give you a metal bow. It doesn't. The physics don't work on that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works. It's kind of just. I'm just looking to get into it. It doesn't have to be like fancy, you know.
Oh yeah, you know,
Could
I
just
can
be
make
like-
it fancy.
like,
I can make it simple. It's you know, kind of based off your preference. I'm not gonna decline one either way.
Yeah, I'd say maybe about like an intermediate level. Maybe not so much like something that's like cheaply entry level beginner, but something that's a little bit nicer to kind of get accustomed to.
And just to be clear, it's not gonna be metal.
If you say that it's not, then it won't. So yeah, no, it will not
Okay, I
be.
just want to make sure you know that because
okay.
it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't.
I love this NPC. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's gonna take some time to craft your little hand things.
A question for you: do you have any experience with running into or having any ranger folk approaching your premises of your blacksmithing?
I mean, people of all different types of expertise come in here. To be quite honest, I try not to run into anything. I kind of
more or
spatial
less-
awareness is key.
Yeah, I'm like running into a fucking wall.
Welcome to
Yeah,
Era's
I'm
life.
kind of just like looking for do you know what they would usually be looking for from what you'd be crafting?
A lot of people come in here a lot. I don't try to keep track of a lot of that things. It's
No.
kind of just whatever the beat of the drum that you dance to, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that we are content with our selection of what we are looking for. So yeah.
So you want a non-metal bow, and you want metal welded together rings, I guess, with a bore on the inside or on the outside.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even know if this guy would even have fucking arrows, or if they'd just be simple arrows.
Are you proficient with a bow and arrow?
I think so.
Uh,
It should say at the bottom, I believe, bottom left
so I'm
of your
just
character sheet.
yeah.
Your weapons? It's a simple weapon, I think.
Yeah, it's, proficiency in simple weapons.
I think civil weapons considered as a short bow is considered that, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Because both of Era's bows are short bows.
All of us typing in simple.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, sweet. So yes, you would ask him for a short bow.
Okay.
And, some arrows.
Glad that I prepared myself so well to be able to really know what I was going to be asking him for. But yeah, we know now.
To be quite honest, and I will give this in all fairness, I'm throwing you guys a lot of curveballs with these NPCs
yeah,
tonight.
for
I'm not
sure.
even gonna lie.
Yeah. It's been a lot.
But we're here for it. Okay, so you want to ask him if he has arrows, and if you need to specify if it needs to be a short or a long bow.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that, looking for more or less a short bow to be potentially crafted, and
Well, size doesn't necessarily matter, but for your case, I'll make sure that it's a short bow for you.
gotcha. And
Do you need arrows?
do you have a variety of arrows, or is it just kind of simple, just kind of, run of the mill, just arrows?
I mean, I'm not going to attach anything fancy to it. If that's what you're asking, you're going to have to do that yourself.
Not necessarily, just anything that would be
I guess
potential.
part of the arrow could be metal. You wanted something metal on it.
the tip of there. Yeah, just something that would have like any sort of electrifying or magical sort of properties to it. Maybe I'm not exactly
you're gonna
sure
have
if that
to
would
find
be.
somebody else for that. I can give you the arrows, then you gotta figure out enchanting them yourself. I can't do that.
Do you know as to where what general direction I should be heading to try to do that?
I mean anywhere but here, I guess. I don't.
Okay. I think we've made our.
So you
our
need a
selection.
short bow and some arrows
and a set of
and the set of the
metal
welded rings.
metal knuckles. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's going to take a bit to get the hand things crafted there. As far as a short bow is concerned, and he kind of you see him kind of go behind the counter. You hear like a very much like a rummaging of through different things. Oh god, he's like kind of cursing to himself, like, oh, boss, these dumb boxes. And he kind of goes like back. He kind of like gets up from behind the counter. He kind of like stands kind of up a little bit, and then he kind of goes around into the door of the forge, and you hear like a bunch of like metal and things like clanging around, like different things falling and like. And he's like, "Well, blast it, god damn it!" And then he comes back out. He's like, "Oh, yeah." And he has like this, brings out like a short bow. It's made with this like rich kind of mahogany, kind of like a dark brown. Has some kind of very much like a braided kind of engraved or braided carved inlay on both sides, and there's like a stern rubber leather handle in the middle, and like a very tight like string on the bow. And he says, "Oh, I got this short bow here for you." And he kind of like slaps like a quiver of arrows like down on the. He got your arrows here. So that's just for that. It's gonna be pretty. I don't do steep prices around here. If you want to, you can just give me like 5 gold, and I say it's yours. I'm not gonna be a stickler about it.
Fair enough.
Arrows included. Do it as a little bit of a package deal.
Okay.
Plus, I'm sick of tripping over the fucking arrows anyway.
And by chance, what would be the price of the metal rings?
Oh, I think that's going to be a bit of a parts and labor situation. I'm going to have to get back to you once I'm finished.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do the. I'll do the exchange for the bow at the moment, and then we'll converse later about the metal
Sounds
rings.
good. I look forward to it. You've been you're a delight. It's been great talking with you.
Oh, well, thank you. You as well.
It's a good respite from all the fucking clanging. I'll tell you that.
I can
Gotta
believe
give me
it.
some fucking earplugs or something.
Yeah. What are those?
Things you put in your ears, lad.
Oh, okay.
It plugs up the ears. I think it's in the name, yeah.
Cool.
Just be careful with this bow and arrow. He kind of makes like a wide-eyed look. Here's
the 5 gold, and then I'm gonna remove 5 gold from my.
Yep. And then I'll put a short bow and arrows in your inventory.
Gotcha.
Cool. So you get that, and what do you do?
Just kind of admiring just the what do you call it? The
craftsmanship.
Kind of the intricate craftsmanship and the designing in the wood, the kind of the darker mahogany and sort of that design that's there, and also just the quality of like the leather and everything. It's just very, very nice. And it's also just kind of sort of foreign. It's like if you pick up like a musical instrument or something that's like super nice and like ornate, and you're like, oh wow, like this, I don't know anything, like, but it feels just nice. It feels like something that's like, was well crafted. So
Made with love.
Yeah. So you kind of will get familiar with that as you get to train with it and all that kind of stuff.
Which I feel like it would be a lot of fun to partner up with Era.
Yeah.
To do that. Maybe.
A little bit of a blast from the past on that one.
Mayhaps.
So you take the bow and do you exit? Do you leave the smithy at that point?
Is that in my?
I haven't put it in there yet. I'm gonna put it in there in a minute.
Okay, no worries. Take your time.
So do you take the bow and you guys leave the smithy, or?
Well, I mean, we're kind of still like, I would assume we're still like meandering around the kind of. We're not like leaving because he's still like having to craft the metal.
Yeah, I mean
ring.
it's gonna be a minute.
So you're gonna need to come back.
You're gonna need to come back. Yeah. It's not like he can just do it in like 5 minutes or.
And so with the smithy being where it is, where would that be in? I guess they're all just at the boat essentially, or at the dock area.
Or I'll head into the library.
Okay.
Was it explained that that's where you guys were going to go
Yes.
afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, so you would know that. So
Okay.
the library is within like the area you guys are. You're like it's within that part of the town. as far
Okay,
as where the
so
business is.
we'll partner up with everybody at the library. We'll
So
kinda
you
go there.
will head off to the library in Beville, and we will see that in the next episode.
No.
So, thank you so much for all of you out there listening. It has been such a pleasure, and hope you enjoyed all the silly little voices and antics that this group has gotten up to in Beville, and making Verity's visit to her hometown just so much more fun. We thank you again, Pocket Bard. Always a blessing to have these wonderful ambient tones, and we will see you in session 67.
Bye.